What is a ray of light without the shadow it creates? What is the darkness without desire for flame? What is a warrior without a worthy foe? What would you like to do? It's time to roll. When the lines between good and evil are blurred, no one knows if there is Dune or Paler came first. An ancient struggle throughout all time to push against the other keeps both upright. Is the coming chaos worth the peace? Is it all just a puzzle to complete? A one-sided coin can't exist, isn't real, and thus goes the tales of Ethyl. Thus goes the tales of Ethyl.
Plans for that. I was going to, but I'm like, no, I have a plan. I know what I want to do.
All right, guys, we are live with episode 28. Thank all of you guys for being here for episode 28. I see that there's so many of you in there. CJ with the NPC name. We're gonna find a place for him, that's for sure. And Seb, thank you for the sub. I appreciate that, buddy. Hello, Dyer. Hello. So first things first. Got some things going on right now. If you can't tell, obviously our lineup below me is a little bit different than it normally is. Miss Dyer has got some other things going on, so she's not going to be joining us possibly for the rest of the season. We don't know, but for at least for a very good while, Miss Dyer Fate is no longer a part of Tales for right now. We still love her. She's still going to show us some support, so let's make sure that we still show her some appreciation. But until we get a more permanent person in, we are going to be switching through for a couple guests and stuff. And for the first little bit, we've got this week is Malachi Gaming. He's going to be playing an interesting character. We'll introduce him later. You can see his name there, but we'll talk about his character a little bit later. So he'll be joining us for a couple episodes, but then we'll be switching him out with possibly someone else, maybe some people from before. We'll see what happens. But before we get started, I want to say we're going to start with our introductions. So, as we have done before, down to my bottom left, we have got Silus.
Your day just went from bad to worse. You face an orc who speaks in verse.
God. Next to him, we've got Kazim.
Hey, I'm Josh. I don't do any rhymes, but you're still going to have bad times.
Next to him is our guest for a little while, Malachi.
I'm in pain.
And as always, last but not least, we have got Nico.
Hey, my name is Dragon, and Nico is a lover, not a fighter. I'm very ready for this
Still
one.
has the ultimate KD. And I am uppercase Karma. I am your DM. I still don't know what I'm doing, but we're all just here for a very good time. Malachi, because you're joining us for a little bit, I feel like we've got to be clear on a couple ground rules. Obviously, I am DM, I am God, and what I say goes no matter how much anyone wants to argue. Also, when it comes to, like, if you have ideas, please fucking share them, because I love ideas. And if you feel like something would be interesting or it might not work based on the rules, go ahead and share that. Maybe I'll do something interesting, because I've broken some rules before, because I don't follow D&D rules. I'm terrible at it.
Malachi, since you're the new guy, can you ask him if we could be fed this week?
No food for you.
Damn it.
I would actually no. Can't
What about your fried
that
chicken?
everyone but Zephyr gets fed this week.
Everyone but Zephyr, I'll allow it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
That's for Silus making things difficult for me. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But as we always do, I'm going to start this game the same way that we always do, with a shot. Anyone who'd like to join me is welcome to join me. Cheers to you guys. Cheers to the campaign, and cheers to the...
Malachi, do a shot of milk. Do a shot of milk.
No, the thing is, I've got whiskey. I've got milk to my right and whiskey to my left, and I don't know which bottle to reach for.
Whiskey. If you're not getting drunk, it's not Tales of Ethyl. Cheers.
Oh no! I was gonna say use the coin, but okay.
No, it's Tales of Ethyl. We're getting drunk, y'all.
Now double back on the milk.
Yeah, if you guys ever see me holding this amazing cup, it's because I've got alcoholic Mountain Dew in it.
Woo! That's the Baja
Hey.
Blast, right?
It sure is. And I just found out that there is another case that I just bought of different flavors of Baja alcoholic. So there's Baja Blast, there's Baja Mango, there's Baja Pineapple, and then there's a fourth one. And I don't remember what it is, but it sounds
Ooh.
so good.
You're gonna have to send me a couple cases.
I only found one case of it, so anyway, I think that's all of my announcements. I think that's everything. I'm trying to think. Anything else? I've done the TikToks. Okay, if you haven't already, join the go check out the TikToks and the YouTubes and the Spotifys if you need catching up for Tales of Ethyl. We've got a lot of things going on there. Thank you, Josh, for putting that in there. And if you got any questions for us, join the Discord. And in the questions for the Ether, you'll see that there is questions for the cast, where at the end of every episode, we can spend a little bit of time answering some questions that people might have. But yeah, thank you guys for joining us. Oh, also, yeah, thank you, Josh, for reminding me. If you guys don't see me on here, I do still stream, but I have been doing a little bit more over on Kick. It's the same fucking username, so if you see me playing any other games, I'm probably over on Kick. If you guys want to go check me out over there. I'm just seeing what it's going to be like. I don't know if I'm going to go over there all the time, but that's just, yeah, I'll be a Kick every once in a while. And yes, Dyer, I did do the TikToks. I know I keep constantly fucking forgetting, but I did it.
Even did the wheel.
Also, one more announcement. After, not this episode, but the next episode, we're probably going to be taking a little bit of an extended break with Tales of Ethyl, as there are some other things going on. But on those days that we would be doing Tales, we're actually doing a little bit of a different campaign with our buddy Seb. He's been Zorn on this campaign for a little bit, and I get to be a player, not a DM this time. So that'll be interesting to see. I think that's everything. If there's anything I've forgotten, I won't remember by the end of it. Anyway, let's get into our tale of magic and wonder of a homebrew based on a video game based on a homebrew that we call Tales of Ethyl. Where we last left off, we're going to be skipping forward a little bit based on Dyer no longer being here, but that's going to be okay. We're just going to kind of skip through that night and go on into the morning. But what happened last time is Ayumi had decided that she was going to research and venture into the white orb, the dream orb, and Kazim had decided to join her. Without doing much research or looking into it too much, some things might have happened that were a bit unpredictable. When they decided to say the name of Mistrix's true nature, they were sucked in within the orb, and it appears that Mistrix's soul seemed to have fused with Ayumi. And this odd confusion of identity crisis, essentially, had kind of plagued her for a little bit longer as they were venturing out, and their friends seemed to have returned to them in some way. Silus, uncomfortable with the undead, kind of wasn't very okay with it. But Mistrix, returning a little bit, did what she would have done and returned to the water wheel, which that was interesting to see Tasha go through that kind of trauma, I will say, at the very least. But after some more conversations and more talks, we've kind of figured out a little bit more about what might have actually happened. We kind of separated as we were going to go talk to Greymore for a little bit, but it was getting a bit late, so we all decided that we were going to go to sleep. Nico had a nice dinner with her little family, a little bit more understanding. He opened up a little bit more truth to the father, Nicholas, and thankfully, he didn't seem to care. He was just happy that Nico was safe and sound. But we'll see how long that lasts, because we've also found out that Nicholas has threatened the brother of Nico or Tamiel, and we're not sure what's going to come of that. Hopefully nothing, but we never know. So as we went through the night, there have been some events that have happened. We were going to kind of skip forward through to the morning. As where would I say, Silus, Kazim, where would you guys have slept?
I'm almost definitely in my room in the water wheel.
In the water wheel? Okay.
Yeah.
Kazim, I'm assuming you're back in your fancy room in the flow, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Nico, I'm assuming you just stayed in the infirmary.
Either that or would have just actually fucking went up left with my family.
It's
But
it's up to you. What would you have done?
Would have left with the family.
Well, left with the family.
Yeah.
Okay. So we are going to start with Silas. As you begin waking up on the beautiful morning, you start hearing the small bits of cheers and chatter down below you in the water wheel as people are coming in for their morning drinks and their morning coffee and breakfast before they go out to work in the fields. You wake up pretty early most of the time anyway, so you're kind of woken up by just the excitement that's going on downstairs. There's not a crazy amount of people when you look around in your very comfortable room that you're pretty used to. With your bed, your small wardrobe that's in there, and a small table with your equipment on there. Silas, I'd like to ask you, what would you like to do?
Probably sort of for a little bit. He probably gets up, looks out the mirror, out the window, more likely. Kind of just sort of taking in the morning sun for a little bit. And once he's a little more awake, clock onto the fact that something's going on.
Okay.
And Silas, being Silas, is instantly going down there, ready for trouble, but not necessarily expecting it.
So, as you begin walking down the stairs, I'd like you to roll a perception check for me.
Oh, good. Perception 19.
So as you begin kind of walking down the stairs, you do notice that there is quite a few people, more than usual, but nothing ridiculous. There's maybe about 7-8 people in there, all just kind of spread about. There's 3 of them over at the bar while Tasha's doing her normal thing of cracking jokes, pouring drinks, and making sure that everyone's had enough to fill. As she sees you beginning to go down the stairs, you're not seeing anything too ridiculous, but there seems to be a little bit more merriment than you were used to when you left River's Run.
Okay.
It seems like everyone's a little bit more comfortable than they were before you left for Peak Barrow. It's a nice change of pace for you. There's not so much solemn. It doesn't seem like anyone's worried or anything. But then you see Tasha making eye contact with you and goes, "There he is! Good morning, Silas! How'd you sleep?"
Oddly enough, peacefully. Forgive me, I'm still a little caught up in dreams. Everything seems quite pleasant down here. Everyone seems to be in a much better mood than what I'm used to.
Well, when you're actually in some kind of safety and feeling comfortable with your lives, obviously we're going to be a little bit more excited. Can I get you something? Can I get you some food? Maybe some coffee? It's going to be an early day.
Let's have you got any sort of venison or anything like that? I've been craving.
Yeah, we actually got a couple. We got a couple good slabs of meat from like a couple days ago. So yeah, we've got plenty. If you want some, I'll cook you up some.
I'll take that and just a water, please.
All right, easy enough. Hey, do me a favor. Will you go upstairs and check on Amy, Mistrix, whatever the hell her name is? Make sure she's okay. She went to go sleep in Mistrix's old room.
Very well. And immediately sort of take a deep breath, go upstairs.
Okay, so you start climbing up the stairs, and there's that room at the very front next to the steps that you see that's got scratches all on the door. That you come to know that what's where Mistrix is, usually stays. You notice that the door is slightly ajar. Not a whole lot, just a small little crack.
Okay. Doesn't look like it was forced open in any way.
It looks like it just might have absent-mindedly be left open.
Okay. Very slowly, like, push the door open a little bit, just to sort of get the idea of whether or not there's anyone inside.
Okay.
Any sounds of breathing, any movement.
So as you slowly begin to start opening the door, with your passive perception, you easily would have noticed that the room has very clearly been cleaned, meticulously cleaned. It looks like no one has ever been there. The bed is perfectly made. The table is set upright. It doesn't look like anyone's actually stayed in here. And on top at the foot of the bed, you notice that there's these 3 small like sacks and then a white envelope at the in front of all 3 of them that says Bomb Squad.
Oh, this seems oddly familiar. Gonna go over, collect the assortment of sacks and the letter, not opening it.
As you pick up the 3 sacks, you do notice that each one has a very small, like, kind of ripped off piece of paper attached to it that says, one says Kazim, one says Silus, and one says Nico.
I think I understand. And I will take all 3 of the sacks in the envelope, leave them in my room.
Okay.
Sort of not hidden away, but sort of safely stowed. And head back down, look over to Tasha, and I believe they have, at least temporarily, gone on somewhat of a pilgrimage.
You see Tasha turn around and go, we just... You know what? She's got 2 fucking people in her head. Totally get it. Not happy. I wish she would have said something, but I get it. Wait, and you see her look over at the fireplace, and you notice that the loot is gone. Well, at least she's gonna put it to good use. That's good.
She was never good at goodbyes, was she?
No, but she's off to cause more trouble for someone else. That I have faith she'll be back.
You know what they say about locks and trouble.
Can never stop them. Well, Papa Squat, let me get you your food. As you see her bringing over this big plate, and you see everyone else's plate seems to be like have a kind of a large piece of bread, maybe a little bit of fruit, and a little piece of meat, and a couple eggs. Yours is covered in this huge like steak and a bunch of eggs and potato, like hash browns, because you can know that she's very familiar with you having a very protein-rich diet, as she just sits in front of you in a nice big cup of glass of water and goes, "Anything else I can get for you, my friend?"
Do what you do best, Tasha. It's good to be home.
You know I will. She pats you on the shoulder and she just goes, "She'll be okay. Don't you worry. I have faith in her."
It's not her I'm worried about.
That's the rest of the world we're worried about. Anyway, be right there. As she begins walking over and starts helping somebody else at the counter. As you begin enjoying your breakfast, we're going to head on over to Kazim. What are you doing?
I just woke up.
Yes, you woke up in your beautiful room. You kind of scan around really quickly for that kind of PTSD of the last time this happened. There was a fucking mysterious stranger that paralyzed you and traumatized you. It is clear. You checked all over the place. It's perfectly clear. You are safe. You are sure of that. So you were in your room by yourself.
I think Kazim has started sleeping with his knives since that night.
Fair enough.
Instead of them like hung over the bedside, they are just like under his pillow, ready to roll.
Fair enough.
Get up, get ready for the day. I think Kazim honestly wants to look into the power of remembrance a little bit more, because it seems like this has something to do with it.
Interesting. Okay. So you, how would you achieve that? You think you maybe like go downstairs, check out the library, maybe ask somebody about it? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I think I'd go down to the library, but first, Kazim's got a stack of gold and gems, I think.
I do believe so, yes.
Yeah. Do we have a monetary value on that? I think Kazim would count that first.
I think... Let me think. This is the gems that you accidentally traded too much for the sending stone, isn't it?
No,
these are the ones I got with my dagger. Yeah. When Tammy gave me my dagger back.
Right. So they're about, if I remember correctly, about 125 gold.
Okay. Yeah, downstairs looking for books in the library.
Okay. As you begin making your way downstairs, you notice walking down one of the hallways from the teleporter that you remember is this small grayish gnome. He's about 2'3". He's got black hair, green eyes. You've never seen a small person with that kind of coloration, so that kind of catches your eyes as you've been walking down. Do you say anything to that guy? Because he's out of place.
Like, where is he? Like in the restricted area?
When you open up the door and you begin walking out, you remember to your left is the way up to the tower towards the teleporter that you tried to take to Peak Barrow. And coming from that direction, you see just at the base of the steps is this gnome walking down the hallway towards the front.
Is he wearing vestments or anything?
You see that he's wearing these kind of vestments that are mostly gray with this red border around it and a kind of anvil and hammer on it.
I'm just gonna kind of look around, see if anybody's paying attention to this guy.
You do see that there are a couple guards by the base, and none of them really say anything. They just kind of do that normal. When you kind of walk by, they kind of do that weird salute as if to, they know that you're there, but continue going.
Yeah. Can I help you?
Yes. Hi. I'm looking for Silus. I'm looking for Silus. Can you help me?
You're looking for Silus.
Silus. Yes. Yes.
Do you have a last name?
Silus. I'm sorry. That's all I know.
No.
It's very important that I need to find him. An orc fellow, I think. Hang on.
Sort of just pulls out this little note that he's bunch of scribbles on it.
Yes, an orc named Silus. That's all I have here.
Okay. If you want to hang out downstairs, I can try to find a Silus for you. If you're willing to give me a little bit of time.
This is really quite important. Haste would be preferred.
Can I ask why? Like...
Oh, well, that's sort of for myself and Silus to discuss. Official business, you understand, I'm sure.
Right. Silus has the other sending stone, or who has the other one?
I think Silus
would have.
Silus does have it, yeah, because I think that's who was given it last, and I think you should have the other one as well. So I think it's you two.
I know I have one on me.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Silus has the other.
I think possibly.
We're gonna say that you did, because I'm pretty sure when you guys broke up, or like went away from each other, it was Kazim and Nico combined with Silus and Mistrix.
Yeah, no, it makes sense for me to have it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna actually put that in my sheet so we can keep track of these fucking things.
Yeah, you guys gotta remember this shit. Anyway, Silus has got it.
I'm gonna pull out my sending stone, kind of speak into it. Hey, good buddy.
Hold on. Bring!
Beep, boop, 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 beep. Hey, good buddy. Somebody's at the flow, looking for you. You might want to come down with your Sunday best on.
So,
Click.
Silus, while you're sitting there enjoying your nice breakfast, you're just hearing this bring from Kazim's voice all of a sudden. You're trying to fucking remember what the hell it is, but then you remember that there's that weird blue stone that seems to talk to you, and as you pick it up, you hear everything that Kazim
I fucking hate these things. Why can't people just use letters like normal?
Do you say that out loud into the stone?
No, he's absolutely he's like in his head. He's full old manning this shit right now.
Because you're hearing Silus be like, "Why do people use this thing? Why can't they just send letters like normal people?"
Instant messaging, the way of the future.
Fucking bad technology. No. I'm gonna Silas is gonna take a moment to be like, right, do I have to do this? This is so fucking okay. Press it on the stone a few times.
Beep boop boop beep.
If I need better attire, I have a plan for that, but I may need some help with expenses. And whenever this business is done, I'd like to see you and Nico at the water wheel.
Antioch, you just hear this bring going from Kazim's pocket as he just picks it up really quick, but you don't hear what it says.
I'm pretty sure it also cuts off halfway through the message since it only has 25 words.
Yeah, it cuts off. Silas doesn't know that, so you hear him say like, "I will do my best," and then when it gets to the part about Nico, it just stops.
Because no one has told him there's a word limit.
So yeah,
no one has communicated that with him in any way.
No.
We never do. We never explained our magic items.
No, you just gave him a blue stone. You just gave him a blue stone, or like it can let you talk to people. That's all you told him.
Don't fucking bud that shit. Which
Well,
one was that?
me, first of
Oh my
all.
God.
Second of all, that's the only charge it has, so that's all we have.
So you can't reply to him or anything. You're just like, yeah, good enough.
It's fine, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, because no one told me the singer's charges either.
Nope.
Totally not what I meant by Sunday best, but it works. He'll get here eventually. So, what's your name?
Oh, yes. My name is Antioch. Lovely to meet you. You are...
Huey Lewis.
Roll for deception.
And this is my band, The News. That's a 5.
For some reason, you just see this weird smirk on his face as soon as he says. You hear even a chuckle when he's like Huey Lewis.
It's hard to smirk with a beak. You have to respect the talent.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Hello, buddy.
I see. Well, Huey, it was lovely to meet you. I assume I can wait for Silus here?
There's quiet rooms downstairs that you can wait in. I'd prefer one of those. At least the flow would prefer one of those.
Perfect. And he scurries off.
Okay.
Cool. I know where Silus went to bed last night.
Yeah,
right?
you know that he's in the water wheel.
Check. I'm gonna go back in my room, take off from the balcony, just head straight there.
Okay, cool. So, while that's happening, Nico, you miraculously are able to kind of wake up on your own. There is no... You do hear a bit of arguing downstairs of a little girl being like, Mom, let me go get him. And you hear Cresselia be like, no, let him sleep. He needs to sleep. Oh. But you do wake up in your very familiar, comfortable room that you've been sleeping in for time and time again. What would you like to do?
I think when he just wakes up, I feel like he would just take a moment, just fucking take a deep breath, and just fucking mull over everything that has happened recently. He's tired. He's done. He's missed his family. And he's just... he just gets out of the bed, slowly, just in general, for the first time in forever, I feel like he would just take a minute to just look over himself, maybe change grab a change of clothing that shirts that aren't fucking ripped to all fucking pieces,
or oversized, because for some reason you still have Silas's shirt.
I still have Silas's shirt. Okay, you know.
You slept in it too, because
Yes.
it's horrible to admit, but it's pretty damn comfy.
I forgot too. Well, in that case,
I forget that hasn't been changed since we met.
It smells,
been cleaned, but
smells
it's still-
horrible, but it is very comfy.
Well, no, it's been cleaned, but it is covered.
Oh yeah, like
Let's be honest.
It's been
Not
rained
cleaned
on.
enough.
It's been rained on. That's what he means by it's been clean.
oh, like okay, cool. At least it ain't the fucking dirt bath that we're taking with Kazim the other day.
Yeah, it's not
Didn't
crusty.
he also fall? He fell in the river too, didn't he?
He sure did. He sure did.
Oh,
Yeah.
fucking Lulu, I fell in the river.
There was a bit of
Yes,
soapsy substances in it. That's it's something.
You know, I feel like Nico would, he would take that off. He would try to I don't know, fuck, I forgot the word in that for English. Put it nicely, fold it. He would fold it, yes, and he would just, he would go downstairs to his family. I feel like, very carefully. Like he doesn't want to do too many sudden movements, just walking slowly down the stairs.
As you begin walking downstairs, you see Freya being held by Cresselia. As soon as you open the door, she's freaking the fuck out. As you see over in the kitchen is Nicholas just kind of quickly getting himself a small cup of coffee as he looks over and goes, "Good morning, Nico. I'd love to stay and chat, but the fields need me. Feel free." And you see him kind of point over the table where there's a fairly reasonable breakfast and a plate left out for you, and you also see a smaller plate and another plate set next to you, as if Cresselia and Freya seem to have been waiting for you. You do see the empty plate of Nicholas as he's grabbing coffee. He walks over to Cresselia and gives her a kiss on the forehead, and he walks over to Freya and gives her a kiss on the forehead, and he just kind of raises his coffee mug to you and goes, I'll see you at lunchtime," as he takes a quick drink and walks out with his heavy footsteps as you slowly begin descending down the steps. Those familiar creaks that give you comfort now being back. As soon as you reach the final step, Cresselia just stands up and Freya is attached to you like a koala.
Hey, sweetheart, how did you sleep?
Good morning, Nico. Good morning. I didn't sleep well. No, not at all, because we get to hang out. We get to have fun today. Hi.
We do. We do get to have fun today.
Do we get to practice with Silas's crossbow? She whips it out all of a sudden, loaded already somehow.
Right, I forgot about that. Yeah.
You're seeing Cresselia be like, Freya,
Absolutely.
give me that. You can have it when you're done with your breakfast. So she grabs it and she just kind of puts it on the counter and she goes, I love Silas dearly, but that's the worst purchase that anyone's ever made for her. She keeps pointing it at us.
Oh. Well, you just gotta always be prepared. You don't know when people jump out at you out of nowhere and start shouting.
Yeah,
Loud
see,
noises,
Mom,
it
I
happens.
told you. I'm protecting the house. I know.
You are doing such a great job, sweetie.
I know, sweetheart. I know. But Dad and Mom hurt so much when you shoot us with those things. And as soon as you get a little bit closer look, you're seeing a couple bruises on her arm, possibly from being shot a couple of times by this crossbow and their blunted bolts.
Oh, Freya. Look, why don't we after the breakfast? Why don't I take you and we have some shooting practice? You can show me what you learned, how you
Eat
improve.
first. Okay.
Yes, we do gotta eat first.
You see her slump her shoulders and just kind of trudge over to her plate. She climbs up her chair, and Cresselia just kind of moves the chair out for you next to Freya and just kind of motions for you to sit down as she pulls up the chair next to you and sits down as well and starts eating.
Yeah, Nico will he will walk past Cresselia just give her a kiss on the forehead, on the side of the head, kiss the top of Freya's head as well. He will sit down and get some nice breakfast in.
Okay. She kind of, as you kiss her on the cheek, she kind of gives you a nice good side hug as she goes, "Come on, let's eat." Well, that's happening. I'm gonna say, Silas, you are still trying to decipher what exactly was said on the stone, but you're finally finishing up your breakfast a little bit when you hear those familiar feathers begin to... You hear that kind of rustling of feathers at the doors, pushes open, and there is Kazim, who just kind of walked in.
I'm sure you used to be more subtle.
You'd think, right? I used to get away with that. Whatever. Some short dudes looking for you at the flow.
Short.
like gnomish short, like a gnome.
Memory, I don't remember I or Zenok ever having dealings with gnomes.
Got like a black
I've
and
never-
red robes?
Right.
Gray and red robes?
Mm-hmm.
Would that be familiar to me in any way, Karma?
Not even a little bit.
Not even. No.
Would I recognize the symbol on it?
You could roll for history.
Ooh, you know I love Roma for history. What do I add to this? Oh hell yeah. A +1, that makes that 6 or 7.
No, you don't recognize it. But
That's
I
the
will
red god.
I will say you're used to recognizing that has to be some library's tabard because it's the same kind of basic design as every other library. It's just the symbol and the colors are different. And you know those are fairly similar throughout all of the libraries of Ethyl. So you're fairly confident it's from a library, you just don't know which one.
He belongs to a library, and he said he is here looking for Silus and Orc. And he said it has to be fast.
I was hoping I would only have to work with one library today, but it seems the gods have other plans.
Regardless, come armed just in case.
If that is going to be the case, I'd like your help procuring some armor. I'm a lot more mortal than I used to be.
Okay, I'm closer to broke than I was before, but I'm sure we can drag something up.
I have a few pieces of clothing that I've procured over the last couple of days. I just need something, sort of a breastplate or something to stitch into the clothing itself, and then I can have it properly tailored, of course. But without this shield,
I don't mind
dead.
I don't mean to interrupt, but I would like to remind you that I'm pretty sure you already have a kind of leather armor chest plate ordered and paid for.
Was it?
Is that
paid
ready?
for?
It was from the
I know I paid for
the hounds.
Well, I know I paid for the glaive. I didn't think I paid for the armor as well.
I thought I paid for the armor.
Yeah, one of you. I do
Yeah.
know that you specifically have armor, Silus, that you've already
Okay.
paid for in the marketplace.
Okay, all right. Well, redact that, and instead Silas is simply going to ask for escort because he is still very much weak and flimsy in his current state.
All right, let's go pick it up.
All right. So as you kind of stand up and you see Tasha just kind of give you a good wave as you begin walking out. You guys walk out, and I'd like to describe this to you as well, Kazim, as you flew over the city. You do notice that there's this kind of almost levity amongst the city. Before you left for Peak Barrow, you guys noticed that there was this kind of almost like dark, stormy cloud hanging over all of River's Run. But since you came back from Peak Barrow, there just seems to be this kind of electric, joyous air in River's Run, as if it feels safer. It feels more comfortable than it did before. You still notice that there are more guards, which, you know, is accustomed to what was going to happen, but people have been feeling more comfortable. As you're walking down, you guys are walking down towards a market, you kind of begin crossing over the bridge. You notice that there's still some stalls that aren't quite set up just yet in the main market district. But as you begin walking up, you do notice Silus, the armorer that you were talking to before. You see him kind of putting up a couple pieces of armor that he's had and placing out different pieces. Do you just kind of walk straight up to him?
Slowly and
Okay.
politely, but yes.
Okay, so as you see him kind of finish up and he starts beginning sitting down, as he makes eye contact with you and goes, "There he is! All right, I have your pieces ready to go. You didn't give me much in direction, but I think I took it in a nice little interesting way. You were asking for, if I remember, you needed medium armor, right? This is Karma asking you.
Yeah, I need medium.
Okay. You seem like you didn't really give me much in the way of directions, but I've kind of started to try to replicate this almost like scale-like armor. I like the darker colors because you wanted to make it kind of seem more like clothes, kind of. So, and he pulls out this nice breastplate that from like a quick glance just looks like a normal tunic, but as you began getting close, you notice that there's these intricate stitches of what seems to be these kind of some sort of scale armor, and you do manage to get yourself a nice set of a scale mail armor.
Nice. Okay.
If there's anything else, you just let me know. I also have these that I kind of wanted to. There's no extra charge. They don't really do much, but I think they really fit with the outfit pretty well. As he hands you these two like bracers that they're just kind of leather bracers. They don't do really much of anything, just kind of there for flavor. But he's just like, if you're welcome to have them. I just kind of thought they'd be good with the set. Wear them or don't, but I think they're pretty nice.
I'll take them. I'm sure even if I don't use them, I'll find a use. I am truly indebted to you, my friend.
Anytime, we're always happy for the work, and if you need any kind of other armor, if your friends need any kind of armor, you just send them my way. We could really use it.
I'm sure in times to come we will find use for your services.
I'm glad to hear it. As soon as this happens, Kazim, you feel a very heavy hand on your shoulder.
Terrified to turn around, just slowly.
As you begin turning around, there's a very large human standing there with his flow robes on as he goes, "Well, hello there, friend." And you begin to recognize him as Nexus Lexus, the dude who you stole your shirt from. Now, let me clarify with you. I would have happily... What?
Before he says another word, sharp person.
That's a wisdom save, right?
Yes, 15.
Okay. I'm here for this. I'm fucking here for this.
We are riding the line. We are riding the line here.
All right, let's set DC 15.
15.
Oh, for fuck's sake, that's a fucking 6.
I go in for a hug. Hey, buddy, how have you been?
You see,
it's been such a long time.
You see that angry face that was on him just fade away as he goes, "Good morning, buddy. How you doing, man?" As he gives you a big old hug, and you see the guard behind him that was all cross-armed is just kind of like, "What the fuck?"
You can tell that guard back there is absolutely taught Nexus into doing this.
That's the second time that this guard has seen his buddy get ripped off by the... Okay.
He doesn't recognize me, clearly. You know, I would love to stay in chat, but I've got business to attend to.
Yeah,
in
absolutely.
The current district.
I'll be perfectly honest. I kind of forgot what I came over here for.
I think you mentioned something about buying a new shirt, right?
I actually did that gold you gave me yesterday. I actually bought this. It's pretty nice, isn't it? And you see that it's a 2 tones darker than the shirt he's had before. It's a pretty nice shirt. He's like, "Yeah, thank you again, man. That was fantastic. It was a good choice."
Of course, anytime. Yeah, please. If you need anything at all, let me know. I've got you, buddy.
Absolutely. You and your friend, you guys have a great day today. All right.
What's your name again?
Nexus Lexus, buddy.
Nexus Lexus, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
man.
Yeah.
You take it easy. I'm gonna go back on my routine. I'm sorry to bother you. I really didn't mean to. As we get walking back.
No trouble. Yeah.
And you hear the other guard go, "What the fuck was that?"
I cannot wait for the Nexus saga.
You just hear Nexus just be like, "What, man? He's a good friend of mine. What was I supposed to do?" As they begin walking away, you hear them slowly bickering to each other.
I'm gonna have to continuously charm that one person every time I go outside now.
You have to keep one spell slot available at all times.
At least it's only first level, right? Like, it could have been.
That is now the Nexus slot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here for it.
I'm fine with it, honestly.
The Nexus saga continues.
I'm gonna make a bunch of clips for YouTube and for TikTok of just every time you charm Nexus Lexus.
Yep.
All right.
If I remember correctly, the armor that I had commissioned, with the magical hide, that's still being worked on, right?
It is. For
Okay.
he told you, I think he told you like a couple, like 2 weeks or some shit like that. I think you guys are about 3 or 4 days away from that.
Cool.
It was the same dude, wasn't it? Or
was it the same dude?
Or was it someone else? Actually,
I thought
you asked.
I thought it was a girl.
It might have been a girl. Oh, I'm trying to remember now. Oh god, let me look at my notes.
Regardless, I'll take care of it some other episode.
Okay.
It's fine.
Okay.
I'll look back over the episodes and figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah. So Silus, we got you armor. Did you get cool pointy thick thing? Glaive.
Yes, the glaive has served its purpose. There's
Awesome.
one more thing that needs to be handled. Go to the flow and find what was the gnome's name again?
Antioch?
Antioch. Tell him that I will be there momentarily. Just one more thing I need to clean up, as it were.
Of course. Yeah.
Are you guys splitting
Can
up?
I want to try to pawn off this silverware I have for some reason.
I forgot about that. He stole it from the werewolf, dude.
That's right.
You raided his house and took everything from him.
I'm
Okay.
gonna just try to pawn off this silverware.
What the fuck did that happen?
Do you remember the werewolf dude that Tammy actually tried? Oh, it was when you were gone. That's right.
yeah,
Tammy was taking over.
Remember.
He raided his whole house
I
and took his
remember.
silverware too, like an asshole.
I was watching from work. I now remember.
Yeah, he took everything. Okay. So yeah, you can kind of walk around the market, and after a little while, roll for investigation for me.
Ooh, can I try one of my new spells to help with that?
Please do if you want to.
The spell Borrowed Knowledge to give me proficiency in investigation for the next hour.
Cool.
So it normally would have been.
I'm gonna say that you also did it at the
Right?
same time you charmed Nexus. You just kind of like, thanks, buddy, and then you also got the information from his head.
Okay, that would have been a 7. Now it's a 9.
That takes you a minute.
Sorry, a 10. A 10.
It takes you a minute, but after, wandering around kind of looking lost, you loop it about 4 or 5 times, looking a bit dumb, and after you finally start just kind of sitting and you're like, wait, you look over and you finally see what looks to be some kind of like almost pawn shop. It just looks like he's got a bunch of random shit that you could probably go over there and it's this maybe 50-year-old human guy. He's bald on top. He's got a very long beard. He's just kind of sitting under this makeshift tent, and he's just got a blanket with a random assortment of just shit. It's just shit. Like there's like a candlestick. There's like a tinderbox. He's got a small pile of wood. Nothing great, but he probably would buy something off you.
Buddy, pal, do I have the deal of the century for you?
Oh, what? What do you got?
I've got this fine silverware. Ooh, it's a whole set, not a single piece missing.
A complete set, you say? May I see?
Mm-hmm. Of course. Now, typically, this is worth 60 gold pieces, but for you, I'm willing to sell it to you for only 30.
Roll for deception.
Okay. So that's a 7.
You see him kind of pick it up and he goes, yeah, it's not made out of gold, so I doubt that. And he kind of picks it all up and he goes, I mean, it is a complete set. You are right there. I will say, I'll give you 10 for it.
I mean, I could get more by melting it down into silver pieces.
Feel free.
15?
I'll give you 12 and 5 silver.
Deal.
He shakes your hand real quick, and he kind of quickly just kind of bags it up real quick, and you see him put the box down, and he hands you your 12 gold and 5 silver pieces.
Easy money. That werewolf isn't gonna need silverware.
He would have, because now he's normal, but
It's not important.
Anyway, you got your gold, and Do you just start making your way? Silus, what are you doing while he's pawning off this shit on this poor old man?
I am going to find like some kind of bathhouse like sort of place where I can go, and Silas is gonna have his makeover.
Are we having a makeover scene? Okay, I'm here for it. So, you kind of start walking around. You ask a couple guards of like some kind of bathhouse. They tell you what there is one in the bank district, which is where the flow is. And as you begin kind of walking down a couple of the streets that the guards kind of point you to, you do notice that there is this kind of larger building than some of the houses around. It's not enormous or anything, but as soon as you open the doors, it's this beautiful kind of, you feel almost the heat and steam coming from whatever's in the back there. As you enter this kind of dark oak floors with these beautiful stone walls, and you see there's a spruce desk up front with a human female kind of standing there. Probably, actually, you're an orc. You have no idea how fuck old she is. She's young. So as you begin walking up, she goes, "Well, hello there. Looking for a bath?"
Of the sorts, yes.
You see her look you over, and you almost see this kind of mild disgust, and you kind of look down, and yeah, you're a bit dirty.
A long road traveled for a soldier.
Well, we can definitely take care of you. What kind of services are you looking for? We offer massages, haircuts, could give you a clean shave, obviously some nice baths, and we do offer these beautiful mud baths that'll just open up your pores. What can we interest you in?
All right, so I got to tell Kazim about that later. Got it.
Kazim doesn't already know.
Yeah. I think just a haircut, bath, and shave would be more than enough. Thank
Very
you.
well, then we can offer that. Let's see, you wanted a haircut, you see her writing down something, and she goes, we can fit you in. Actually, we think we have an opening right now. Barbara, as you see her running off, or you see her yelling off into the corner, you see another older feminine human just kind of go, yes, and goes, do you have a slot open for a shave, cut, and a spot for a bath? And she goes, yeah, I think I have an opening. And she goes, okay, it'll be just 1 gold for the whole service.
I will hand over the gold piece. Secretly kind of proud of myself that I'm figuring this out.
Do you want to, if you can roll for insight if you want to.
Oh, well, now you've mentioned it. That's not amazing. +2, that's a 13?
Yeah, you kind of just notice as soon as she hands it to you, she goes, thank you very much. And as soon as she turns, you see her kind of bite the gold coin to make sure if it's real. But
Right. Okay. All right. I'll we'll deal with that later.
As she just goes right this way, and she hands you these like 2 towels and it's some kind of, it looks like a cloth jacket. So Zephyr would know it's a robe. Silas has never seen this thing.
Yeah.
As she kind of ushers you through and goes, go talk to Barbara back there. She'll help you out. And Barbara's just kind of standing there and goes, well, hello there. We haven't had an orc today, so let's see what we can do for you. If you want to just go back behind this curtain here and just take all of that off, we'll send it off to go get all your clothes to be clean and put on that robe.
Silas will do exactly what he's told.
Okay.
He's too scared to do anything else right now.
So she goes, so let's get you in the bath first. Let's clean you all up, make sure everything's all good to go, and then we'll get you in for your haircut and your shave. And she kind of walks you back, and she opens up this door, and it opens up to this much larger room than the one you were previously in. That seems to be almost this huge bath, like this huge swimming pool, it seems like. And you see that there are a couple other people that are in there. What's your passive insight?
Passive insight is a 12.
How does Silas feel about nudity?
Honestly, he probably doesn't care.
Okay, cool. So you feel very comfortable as you notice that everyone is naked as you begin walking into the bath, and you take off your robe, and she goes, just pop down right there, and we'll have some people come over and wash. Oh, make sure you're all nice and clean. And as soon as you kind of sit in the warm water, it's to the point where it's almost too hot, but it's still very comfortable. You're smelling all these different kind of fragrances and stuff as another younger girl kind of walks up and she goes, okay, so what kind of scents are we wanting? Or we've got a nice sandalwood kind of smell, and she kind of lifting up these different fragrances to your nose to kind of smell each one of them. We've also got a kind of lavender. We do have this beautiful wildflower smell that we found out past the gates that it's just been very popular lately. What does Silus want to smell like?
In memory of IME, he would go with the wildflower.
Okay, as she goes, excellent, excellent. She kind of grabs this kind of bar of some kind, and she begins rubbing her hands against it. You notice that starts sudsing up as she's putting in your hair and grabbing a jug and kind of pouring it over your head, and she's massaging your shoulders and stuff, and you're noticing all the grime and stuff kind of going off of your arms, and you're getting this is weird sensation. You feel like there's almost like 3 pounds have been lifted off of your skin. And
I was gonna say, this is the most relaxed he's ever been.
You also notice with your passive perception, you probably would notice that there is a bit of like a brown cloud in the water around you as it's beginning to come off of you. No one seems to be noticing or paying any attention to you, but you're very comfortable. I'm gonna give you inspiration for this episode because this is so relaxing and the most relaxed that you have been that it almost you feel more rejuvenated than you've ever been.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
Silus about to become a pamper bitch?
He's been very pampered. As soon as you are they rinse you off one final time as they get you up and they offer you a towel and you begin drying yourself off. She goes, please follow me this way and we'll get you your haircut and your shave. As they begin leading you down another little hallway back towards the room that you changed in, but then you're seeing these row of like 8 different kind of special chairs. And there you see Barbara once again, standing there with a nice pair of scissors and an apron on. She goes, please, Silus, take a seat.
You know what? Yep. Silus is okay with this. He's okay with this.
Right. As soon as he sits down, she kind of flaps this bib around you and she puts it around your neck and she just goes, all right, what are we thinking here? I can trim up the back. We can kind of keep it longer than the top. We can go full mohawk if you're thinking. We can shave it all off. And I know you wanted to trim the beard up. You're wanting a trim. You wanting a clean shave. What are we thinking? What are we looking for?
So the beard would definitely be a clean shave.
Okay.
And then he would sort of describe the hair, because obviously right now it's sort of just very long and overgrown, like sort of right down to the shoulders.
Mm.
Sides and back completely shaved with the top brought up into a sort of top knot.
Okay. So after you describe all of that, you see her kind of pull out this straight razor. She begins sharpening against this leather as she begins applying this weird cream to your face that you've never... It smells fantastic. As she begins slowly kind of tilting your chin up and moving different kind of places. You feel that razor kind of going across, but you can feel the skill behind what she's doing. Where at times you are a little worried that she's going to cut you and you're sitting perfectly still, but with her grabbing you can tell you're in much safer hands. And after about like 30 to 40 minutes, you kind of turn and you see her just kind of wash off a bit of the rest of the cream and she's styling your hair a little bit. It is exactly as you described and you look phenomenal. Also, you're a lot greener than you remember being.
You truly do amazing work.
Well, we get paid very good money, and I take much pride in what I do. And you, sir, look fantastic. Anytime you'd like another bath or anything, please ask for Barbara. We'd always appreciate having you.
I may just do that when I come back from my next expedition.
Well, if you'd like, we can offer you a nice little side of like this little pomade that we have, so you can kind of style it in the morning if you want. She just kind of gives you a little, tiny little case of some kind. It seems to be made out of wood. It's got this weird gel shit in it. You're probably never going to use it, but she still offers it to you as you begin walking out, feeling fresher and better than you've ever felt in your life.
And he's gonna get that new armor on, and he's gonna wear one of the gloves. Specifically, because he's right hand dominant, he's gonna put on the sort of right hand bracer.
Okay.
And he's gonna leave the left one for now and just sort of pocket it.
Yeah, as soon as you put it over your shirt, you do kind of notice that it almost blends into your. It looks when you kind of look in, because they do have a mirror in the front. You kind of put on your armor and you're looking over what you've got. You do notice that the armor does blend into your shirt where it looks like fabric. And then when you begin looking closer, you finally start to see the defined little scales in each one, and it feels heavier than your shirt normally would, but it looks pretty good. And you see that the bracer kind of almost looks like a cuff of like a button-up shirt almost, but it goes a little bit longer. And again, is flat enough to where it goes along with it, but is still that same kind of scale look. So it doesn't look like bulky armor, but you can definitely tell that it is fairly strong armor.
All right, and finish it out. He's gonna throw on this sort of, he sort of picked it up with the armor. This sort of very long leather, almost trench coat style, with the rolling back the right sleeve to keep the bracer very open and mobile, but otherwise sort of blending it all
You've
in.
also noticed when you're putting this on that it smells great. There's not a speck of dirt or anything. There were stains on there you thought were never going to come off, but nope, they are all gone. It is cleaner than the day you bought it.
Put my axe in its little holster on my hip, and
You've also noticed that your weapons have been polished, it seems, as that blade seems to be glimmering a little bit more than it normally has. This place is full service.
absolutely. All right, yep. Throw my axe on. Deck of cards strapped very tightly to my waist. Shield, sort of brought in so that it's in the regular configuration, and turn the collar up, high collar, and head to the flow.
All right.
Silus is back.
Kazim, I would assume that you probably meet up with Silus on your way to the flow as you see him walking out. Of course, you probably don't recognize it's Silus at first. Yep.
You may be
Kazim?
muted, Josh.
God fucking damn it.
That's the Tales episode, that's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll meet back up with him.
As you're walking down the street, you kind of look off to the side and you see this orc in this kind of leathery, almost trench coat kind of thing. You do take a kind of a double take as he's got a nice clean shaven face, but you notice the eyes a little bit and realize, that's Silus, and he's not brown.
I'll saddle up beside him. Well, hello, tall, dark, and handsome. How are you?
I'm doing very well, Commander.
I told you to stop calling me that.
I'll stop calling you that when it stops suiting you.
All right, let's go talk to Short Stack.
All right, while this is happening, Nico, I have to ask, you pretty much just gonna spend your morning until they show up?
Yeah,
with Freya?
no, absolutely. He'll just spend his time with his family,
So you kind of
enjoying the peace and
you kind
quiet.
of pull
moments.
out those targets that Silus had made before, and you start placing them in front. And you guys spend a good couple hours practicing with the shots as Freya's excitingly getting better and better. You will say that one of them did hit the dog on accident as it was just walking by accidentally. But you know that's to be expected.
Yeah, like casualties or whatever it's called.
It happens. That's what happens with an experience. But you know what? That's why we're practicing. So as you're doing that, we're gonna fast forward a little bit as you guys begin walking into the flow. You do notice that a couple guards are kind of looking at Kazim. They give him his normal salute, but then they kind of give a cockeyed look at Silus as if like they kind of recognize him, but they don't, because Silus, you look drastically different. Like you clean shaven, you look very different.
Yep.
So as you begin walking inside the beautiful cathedral, you do notice that Margaret is again kind of doing her hastily working around the counter, and she looks over and are you guys just gonna approach, or are you just gonna kind of go back to the quiet rooms to see if you can find him?
I'm just following Kazim here. But I don't know what.
Finger guns at Margaret, flash a bag, the whole kit and caboodle. Head straight to the quiet room that he's in.
You just kind of see her cut a quick wave as she drops something out next to her. She's picking it up, trying to put that shit back. But as you begin kind of walking back into the quiet rooms, you walk into the conference room that you were in before, as that would have been the one that you assume that Antioch probably would have been directed towards. As you open the door, you notice that this gnome is sitting at the table with this large array of these tiny metallic pieces. As you see him kind of cleaning and kind of tinkering away and stuff like that. And you see like you don't quite recognize what they'd be. It looks like some contraption of some sort as he's just kind of working away. And Antioch, as you're working away on your invention there, as you see them open the door, the floor is your guys's.
I immediately run up to Silus. Oh, Silus, it's wonderful to meet you, and just violently shake his hand.
Antioch, is it?
Yes. How do you do?
A pleasure. Forgive me, I wasn't expecting a visitor.
I assume not. I wasn't expecting to be here either, but here we are. I have been told to look for you, to look for somebody that you're traveling with.
And he's sort of looking down at this note, like, me?
Would that be Iamy of the Isles?
It could be. Yes, that does sound familiar.
I'm afraid she is, otherwise conflicted. To my knowledge, she left town just this morning, or I believe on some kind of pilgrimage. And I'll sort of look to Kazim and say, what I wanted to talk to you about.
I see. Did she perhaps send a message, a request for a meeting to the ambassador of the Isles of Decem?
I believe she did.
Yes, I've come to follow up on that.
Well, I apologize that she is unable to be here at this time, but since you have made the journey, I would do my best to provide whatever resources or information she would have wanted passed on. The concern is that the Isles of Decem have been otherwise infiltrated by our enemies.
I see. I have to be very honest with you. I have absolutely no idea what's going on out there. I'm very shut in, so is there any way you could be a bit more specific with me?
To our knowledge, Iamy's sister, it was believed that she was in fact what we would refer to as a doppelganger, an infiltrator from the forces of Zerestun. And I believe Iamy believed her mother to be in danger.
I see.
And he's scribbling away as you speak to him, just writing down his notes.
And perchance, would your group happen to be going by Emberdale anytime soon?
Emberdale. I don't think that settlement rings any bells to me. Kazim, does it to you?
How's that?
Kazim, for you, you would have heard the name before. That it's a settlement far to the west near Deeth, if you remember on the map, kind of by the lake, or by Dreek, up in the mountains. You remember Emberdale is built at the base of a volcano. It is known for like its smithing town.
Okay. Yeah, I know of it.
I've been asked to go out to Emmerdale and check on some people. I was wondering if perhaps you might care to join me. I'm not exactly somebody who gets out, so to speak, as you can probably tell.
You said near Dreek?
Yeah, near Dreek.
I mean, are you paying?
I am certain that I can provide services that would be of help to you.
We could use all the allies we could find, Commander.
Okay. So, to make sure I've got this right, I met you this morning. You asked me to bring you Silus, and now you're asking us to go on a multiple week-long journey across the countryside?
Yes.
Now, our team, the Bomb Squad, we would love to take care of yourself on this journey. However, as politely as possible, we're not a charity. As much as we need allies, 2 weeks with our funds is not currently doable. Unless you have some sort of way of payment.
How does 500 gold sound?
Sounds like you got yourself a band.
Didn't even negotiate.
Oh my god, it didn't take you a second. You didn't skip a beat. I fucking love you.
That was
Fucking
easy.
100.
Oh,
Okay.
buddy.
2 weeks there and back. We could do that.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Oh, buddy.
Very excited now.
Kazim,
Never been on an adventure before.
Kazim, this may prove to be a endeavor of multiple benefits. And I'm gonna pull out the map and the key. And I assume this quiet room, like the others, has got like a table of some sort, or some
Yeah,
sort
you
of
notice that.
elevated thing.
You do notice though that the table is covered in whatever the hell this gnome is working on. Just
Would
spread
I-
out.
Would I, Antioch, be able to clear just a small space of your?
Oh
of your
yeah,
workspace?
let me. And he just starts
So-
scrambling to
You-
clean up the mess that he has made.
So, if you guys want, either one of you want to make a perception check, because this is kind of astonishing what you see.
Oh,
That's a
20.
natural 20.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Bad 21's dog shit then.
I got a 27.
Fuck me, I guess.
So, Kazim, you notice that he's taking each piece, and it is lightning quick as you see him just kind of piecing together all into this one weird handheld cylinder thing. It's got like this it's got a kind of a long barrel to it. It's got this weird piece on the back, and it looks like it's got some kind of handle. And you see him like he knows where every piece goes, what everything does is he's quickly assembled, and he's kind of twirling it around. He spins whatever the weird thing in the middle is, and he puts it in this holster on the side. It is astonishing to see how quick it is. Silus, all of a sudden, all the pieces are just gone, and he's just holding something in his hand.
Another one with quick fingers I need to keep an eye on, it seems. And I'm gonna unravel the map on the table.
So, as you pull out the map, it looks familiar. You can kind of piece together where things are. It's a whole map of the southern part of Ethyl. I will say, Antioch, you've seen bits and pieces of this map. You're seeing where Zanok was, Silus. You're seeing where River's Run is. You also see where Dreek is. You do notice immediately, Antioch kind of points to a part just kind of northwest of Dreek is where this, he points to it and goes, that's where Emberdale is. And it looks just a little bit to the east, pretty close to Emberdale, next to Dreek, is where the X is for the keep.
we have a reason to go to Emberdale anyway. It seems that, Sir Antioch, we may need your services as much as you need ours.
Oh, well,
Someone
I'm most certainly happy to help.
this X on the map near Emberdale. Do you think you'd be able to navigate us there if we got close enough?
Well, I'm not particularly familiar with the area. I don't get out much. I could do my best.
What do you say, Commander? We go to Emberdale, sort out whatever Sir Antioch here needs, and then we complete a little errand of ours.
Doesn't sound like a bad plan. We are missing a couple members, though, from this conversation.
Unfortunately, I dare say, Dahlia went with Iami on whatever journey they decided to uptake. They did leave us what seems to be some kind of message and parting gifts of thoughts, but I wanted to get Nico first before we address that.
Real quick.
Mm-hmm.
You left the bags in your room, right?
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Yes, absolutely. I've not brought the orb with me and then said Dahlia. I know, Kava. I know that's what you're doing.
He doesn't have the orb though.
Do you have it? Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm sorry.
have it.
I'm sorry. That's right. You
Yeah.
do have it. God, that would have been way
no.
funnier.
No, but
Just,
I've
that's
left...
how you meet Antioch.
Yep.
Yeah, we can leave him in the orb. It's fine.
You guys wouldn't be able to get out either. Okay, continue.
But Nico, are they still in the infirmary? Have they been discharged?
Last I heard, he was back with the fam bam.
An obvious place to start looking then, it seems. He
Yeah.
absolutely should have a say in our affairs before we go gallivanting up north again.
Yeah, so let's go talk to... Would I know what a gun is?
You can roll for history, Ian.
No.
Or
There
you
are
can roll,
many-
or you can
No.
roll for intelligence.
Definitively still no.
Okay. No, you've never seen any kind of mechanism like this before.
There are
That's a
many.
solid 3.
There are many things I expect Kazim to say. That was not one of them.
I'm still just thinking about the cylinder, man. The handheld cylinder. Anyway, yeah, let's go talk to our friend. Yeah.
Antioch, are you just gonna kind of follow along behind them?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm just like scurrying along behind them.
So I will say, Silus, you've seen gnomes before. You've never seen a gray one before, so it is a little different to see this as you guys are all kind of walking down. And I will say that you guys all kind of notice people just kind of looking over and give a quick kind of look over at Antioch as he's walking down. Antioch doesn't give a fuck about any of this shit. He's just happy to be here. He doesn't give a fuck. You see him scurrying behind you guys. It's a beautiful day out. The sun is shining. It's a nice, cool, warm. It's like that perfect room temperature almost day where it's not cold, but it's also not beaming hot. As you're walking down that dirt road towards the Nicholas's home, you see that there is Nico in front, helping little Freya in front of him as he's aiming, and they're shooting that crossbow that you brought, Silus, at the targets that you've made for Freya and practicing. You also notice that around the side of the house is the dog just kind of peeking around, not wanting to get close.
For some reason.
Who would have thought why?
The mighty huntress is awake, it seems.
As soon as you start talking, you hear, Silus! Silus! And Freya just kind of runs over and just kind of gives you a quick hug and looks up and goes, Nico's showing me how to shoot!
I'm honestly surprised that Freya recognized me, but I'll take it. A little warm in the heart. I'm gonna go down on one knee and may I see your weapon?
Yeah, here you go. Where's your beard?
New day, new face. It's important for a hunter to remain fresh.
You just see her just kind of nod, not really quite understanding what you're saying, but she just kind of hands you your her crossbow.
He'd probably pick up on the fact that she didn't quite get that, did she?
Probably. But you also would kind of understand, like, she's pretty young and just...
Yeah.
She wants to make it seem like she understands. You can tell she has no clue what the fuck you just said.
When... At night, your mother, I presume she often calls you up to bathe or at least clean yourself in some respect.
You just hear her go, yeah.
Do you know why that is?
'Cause I stink.
Yes, which makes it easier for your prey to find you. Remain clean.
Oh.
Remain clean, and you're harder to spot, harder to sense, and it makes it easier to hunt.
Mom, what's hunting me? You see Cresselia just kind of peek out and go, what?
Wouldn't smell of soap be more distinguishable from the overarching nature around you than anything, though? That's, Nico just kind of like comes by with like his arms crossed, eyeing Silus like a little bit, just like up and down.
See, that's why I take the dirt baths. You just smell like dirt, which is like not even that fragrant, you know? So.
Yes, but for a different huntress or hunter, sometimes different fragrances are needed. And for someone as young as Freya, keeping clean so that her prey cannot find her, I think would be a good idea.
As soon as you started to say that, you guys all do kind of notice that Cresselia is walking out with what looks to be like a small tray of like some kind of drink, perhaps maybe some lemonade. She walks over and she hears you and she goes, oh, you're talking about the giant rats in the forest. Yeah, that's exactly why you bathe. Freya, didn't you know that? As she just looks at you, Silence, and just gives you a quick wink and just offers a glass to all of you.
See, your mother is a fine huntress. I'm sure you will be too one day, little one.
Well, as soon as Mom gives me real crossbow bolts, and she just goes, well, as soon as you stop shooting the dog, perhaps I'll give you some.
All in good time, Freya.
What are you guys doing here?
We've got a job and an errand.
And a friend.
At this time, you wouldn't notice, Nico, that there is... Behind them is this much shorter, gray-skinned gnome with jet black hair and green eyes. Or is it blue? It's blue, I'm sorry.
It's fine. Hello.
Hi.
I'm Antioch.
You just hear this little girl go, he's tiny!
So are you.
Yeah, because she's like pretty much the same height as you.
If I remember correctly, our dealings with the floor were closed, right?
Well,
like
not quite. Something about what did you say her name was again?
Iami.
Iami. Wonderful.
Oh right, where did she go? She's not,
well,
and like she just like takes a look. Not with you.
There are many things to cover.
You feel a tug on your shirt and goes, is that the dragon princess lady?
It's the dragon princess lady, yeah.
Where's she? Where's the dragon?
Out on a very important mission at the moment.
I think she's gonna go save another princess.
I'm sure she will.
Nico,
Yeah.
there are many things to discuss, which is why we wanted to come here. Antioch has requested our assistance.
Right. Freya, honey, why don't you go with mom and come back in a few. Silence, Kazim, and we need to talk about work a little bit.
You hear Cresselia just go, "Yeah, come on, Freya. I've got a job for you. Let's go decorate Nico's room. Yeah, let's go!" And she just starts running inside, and Cresselia just kind of winks at you as she just goes walking inside.
He just like watches him like run away with like sad smile, sad see them go. Well, I suppose any day is good as one. Antioch, right? Welcome. Hi. I'm sorry. You said we have dealings with the flow?
Specifically, what was her name again?
Amy.
Amy Ghosts. It's spelled so weird. She sent a message to the ambassador of the Isles of Decem, requesting an audience.
When did that happen?
I'm here to follow up on that request. But it seems that he's not quite here, so I'm... well, I have a secondary errand that I'm
right.
now hiring you find people to help me with.
Are we being hired now? Nico just looks at at Kazim and Silus with like a very questioning look, like
Ask the commander.
I'm just gonna hold the number 5 and say 500 gold, like under my breath.
Didn't you just get a bunch of money or anyway, Kazim? What's money to you?
Everything.
I suppose. Right. Sit down. I don't know. She's gonna look around, like maybe look for like a pile of like just logs or like if there's like any chairs like just to sit down. Nico will just sit down on the grass because he feels comfortable there. Excuse me, I am tired, so I'm going to sit down. You're welcome to do whatever you feel like. And you go on. I feel like there's a lot on your mind, I suppose. And just motions to all of you.
I'm gonna look at Antioch.
Aside from looking for Amy, I just need somebody to take me to Emmerdale and back.
Emmerdale?
There's really not much more than that.
Would Ember sound familiar to Nico at all?
You have heard of Emberdale, but you don't really know anything. You just know that, a bunch of weapons to the capital come from there.
Okay.
That's pretty much it, though. You just know that there are a lot of blacksmiths there.
Do you need help from the, what is it called? From the smiths? Like, are you looking to purchase weapons? Is that where you're going there?
That's personal.
Well,
Can I get an insight check on that?
Sure, go for it.
Never mind.
Oh, Josh. Honey.
Unless 9 does anything.
No.
Nico believes almost anything people tell him, so I'm not gonna roll you in. But I'll nod my head towards Silus and so what's the deal with Amy? She is on a journey? She was just here yesterday.
With the procurement of the little one, it seems that they have left for a while. I believe we have an explanation, but I currently have that in a letter in my room in the water wheel, along with a care package of sorts, one for each of us.
Why didn't you bring it with you?
I didn't exactly want to lug around 3 large sacks whilst I was having a bath.
I suppose. Also, I didn't think I'd ever see you shaven. Ever. It's weird looking at you.
Silas rolled for hunkiness.
I can tell you right now, I choose to fail.
I'm sorry. Is it weird that Silas is shaven?
Yes.
Well, yesterday
see.
he had mud caked all over his hair and his everything. Also, oh, that reminds me, I
Fascinating.
still have your shirt. I didn't know if you wanted me to wash it. It's upstairs, Silas.
I will decide what to do with that later.
All right then.
But for now, at your earliest convenience, yes, like I said, everything that was left in the little one's room, and you can see he goes to say it but catches himself just in case, because he doesn't know where the orb is. No, but it's very clear that he's catching himself saying it. There in my room in the water wheel. We can meet up there when everyone's comfortable. Antioch, I won't speak for Nico or Kazim, but I will happily join you on your journey north, as
I appreciate that greatly. Thank you.
of course you came looking for us, and I feel like it's only right that we return the favor. Plus, having a little bit of extra help taking out my my errand could be quite useful. But of course, that's to be discussed when we get there, and that is quite away from here, if I'm not incorrect.
Well, I feel like there's a lot of things that we need to do as soon as possible, just in general. Have we, any of you, talked with Graymore, perhaps, about how things have went as well, just in general? I should remember we're supposed to have a talk with them as a group at one point, but it never came around to that, and just a lot has happened since then, I feel.
I was told. Yeah.
We probably should talk to Graymore, actually.
There's some pretty important things, I feel like, happening right now that I assume would require his attention.
What? I understand what we should talk to him about. What shouldn't we talk to him about? Is there anything we need to disclose?
Is there anything? I mean, it's not like we have been there on his order and we have delivered, and there's things that has happened ever since that need addressing, but I don't believe there's anything we should be hiding.
The more secrets we keep from Graymore, the more vulnerable River's Run will be. Tasha, Freya, Nicholas, Crucelia. Everyone we know and love will be in jeopardy if we are not going to work together. Right now, this city is the strongest it's ever been, and it's ready for whenever Tharizdun's army returns. The more we can prepare one another, the better we'll stand when the war comes.
Do they know we have 6 months? Have we told them yet?
Wait, what?
I don't believe we've had conversation with Graymore since since Nico's
What are you
awakening.
talking about? 6 months.
Could he be here for this, Antioch? Like, do we fully trust this guy that just showed up?
An ambassador for the Isles of Dissem, if I'm correct, with connection
Or
to the capital.
so he says. Again, I just found the guy this morning.
Clarification. Working for the ambassador of the Isles of Dissem.
Thank you for the
I'm actually I'm a scientist from the Isles of. Hang on, I need to re-go over my notes. Hang on.
The Isles of Hang on, where are they?
This does seem very out of character for him when he's looking. Hold on, where am I from?
Yeah.
This is all Malachi.
I think it's
I don't-
funnier as Antioch doing this. Hold on.
No, right?
No fun.
See,
That makes
there's
him
a lot of it
lovable.
where it is like
That makes him more lovable and less trustworthy.
Yeah.
I was a Glimmerstone, actually. Yes, I'm a scientist in the magical arts of Etheria. Yes.
I will say,
You
Kazim,
look
you
like a
are
wizard.
Kazim. With that, him mentioning Glimmerstone. Now remember that there is the Library of the Forge, which he is wearing their garments.
Mm. Okay,
Trust
a
me.
little bit more. Mal, can I get you to make a charisma saving throw really quick?
Charisma. Okay,
I
wow.
love it.
As I
All right.
cast
love
known
it.
as true.
Okay,
Oh.
charisma save.
That was going to be what I suggest.
Technically, all of
Yeah.
you have to.
Okay.
I choose to fail.
Is it a
No, I
charisma
choose to
saving
fail.
throw?
Charisma saving throw. You may choose to fail if you'd like.
I choose to
Uh,
fail.
11.
11.
No, I'm
That
pretty
is
sure I failed.
fail. Yeah. I also
charisma,
follow
right?
charisma. Yeah. I also
What is
fall
the
under the
DC?
effects of my own spell. 15.
Yeah, buddy, I rolled a 15 plus bazillion.
Beats it.
Cool. Yeah. Cool. So everybody has to tell the truth except for Nico right now.
And you don't know if they pass or fail, do you? I don't think. I don't think.
Yes.
I do know.
According
Okay.
to the spell,
okay.
yeah.
Nico doesn't like when people mess with his brain.
Can't speak a deliberate lie while in the radius.
Mhm.
So, Mr. Antioch,
Yes.
where are you from?
Well, I'm from the capital city. I come from. Before that, I come from Glimstone.
Who do you work for?
I work for the ambassador. Well, technically. Bear with Malachi.
I did give him quite a bit of notes.
You gave me so much, and I know a lot of it, but not all of it.
It's all good.
I can see the information overload on his face.
It's a lot.
Yeah,
I gave him
There's
so much.
So much.
If anybody needed a visual of what stimulus overdrive looks like,
This is it. I was gonna say, anytime there's a blinding white light over there, you know that I
It is-
can't fucking remember
It is
anything.
all. I did pin it all. Just to let you know.
I know. I actually
Okay.
put it all in a file, so it's not spread out by my messages as well.
He made a fucking
Um,
spreadsheet for his background.
I had to.
Yeah.
Buddy!
That's more than I have.
I gave him
right?
so
He's
much.
a guest. He's a guest, and you made him do homework.
I've had a rough time. Okay.
So,
He asked me a bunch of questions. I answered all of his questions.
I did honestly. I
No,
had
yeah,
a lot of questions.
it's Malachi. That adds up. I retract my
Yeah.
previous statement. You did it to your fucking
I
self.
did this to myself.
did you have to answer in MLA format, my guy?
On the side note,
Okay.
though, do ask questions, dudes. Okay.
Do because
Okay.
it's a lot of fun.
I don't have any questions I need to ask anymore. Like,
Okay, where was it? I work for my good friend Brindle Copperthorn, the ambassador of the Deep Gnomes. But I'm doing work for the ambassador of the Isles of Dissem,
Denalian.
Denalian. That she mentioned a name. So Denalian is alive.
Who's Denalian?
I'm asking Antioch because he is under the truth.
Mm.
Is
Herself,
Denalian
wasn't it?
alive?
To my knowledge, they are alive. I got this job through a bounty board.
Okay. The issue we have is Amy was informed by her sister that Denalian was dead. That's what
Which-
we saw in the memory.
We can't trust her sister anyway. Her sister is a doppelganger.
Exactly. Now,
Who do you trust?
This guy who's not a truth, of course.
for just let's now kind of recap real quick. So we went into the memory. We were told by Amy's sister that Denalian's dead. I saw the purple eyes of the sister. We come out the memory. Stuff happens. Tammy says that the sister has been dealt with. We speak to the mother, who was also under the impression that Denalian was dead. Turns out Denalian's we have reason to believe Denalian's alive. Therefore, that's why we get in contact with the ambassador to confirm that information, to confirm that the sister was untrustworthy, so that the mother could then take whatever necessary precautions were required due to the infiltration. Because even though the sister's been dealt with, we don't know if there's been a spread of doppelgangers. I think I'm there.
Yeah,
I
you got
think
it.
I'm there.
You're 100%. You're on the money.
I'm on the way. All right, cool.
Yep.
My notes are a fucking mess. I've just made a spider diagram to get it all together. Cool.
No,
Okay.
shouldn't photos be that important?
Okay. Okay, so my notes do make sense. I was only slightly crazy. Right. So, as Silus now, so you can confirm, at least to the best of your knowledge, Denalian's alive. Which confirms to us that the Isles of Descent were in fact infiltrated by the forces of Tharizdun. Or at least people showing very similar ailments to the forces of Tharizdun.
I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about.
I completely get that. What I need from you is, whenever we are done with this business, I will request in Ayami's stead, as she is not here. Her mother knows me, and she knows that I am to be trusted. Have a message sent to the Isles of Descent. Denalian is alive. We have, with yourself as a witness to that, we have reason to believe that the Isles of Descent were infiltrated. Beware the purple eyes. I need that message delivered to them, word for word.
He pulls out a piece of paper. Say all that one more time.
We can confirm Denalian is alive.
Well, hold on. Did
We're
he
not-
confirm that?
Well, to the best of his knowledge, Denalian was alive the last time they interacted, which means he couldn't have been dead months or years ago.
Did just answer that question, that whole full ass question, as I have no idea what you're talking about.
No, because that was
No.
me.
About
I
doppelgangers.
was talking about all the
That was about
whatevers and
therapy.
whatevers and purple eyes and whatnot.
Yes.
To my knowledge, I received, well, actually, my good friend received a bounty board notice that we took on, and I have been sent here to talk to you about, and so on and so forth, plus other business.
Okay, so we do have reason to believe Denalian's alive. We can try and confirm that between now and getting the message sent. So obviously your business in Emberdale is priority.
That is appreciated.
But we have reason to believe Denalian's alive. This confirms our fears that the Isles were infiltrated by Tharizdun. Watch for the purple eyes. Do we want to mention that Greymore is someone they should keep in contact with as well?
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
already
probably.
don't do that.
Not regular correspondence.
If you need communication, reach out to Archmage Greymore. And then he can get into contact with us, really. So,
Yeah, we work with him directly.
okay, Antioch, a couple more clarifying questions just to make sure we don't have anything to worry about here. Do you know what Tharizdun is?
I haven't got a clue.
Do you know what a doppelganger is? He's feeding you answers.
I don't believe so.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep my eyes on camera at this point because it's like this is the only way I'm gonna know anything.
Do you know what an anchor is?
My lawyer tells me no.
I have no idea.
Does your business in Emberdale involve the harming of any specific person?
My business in Emberdale is none of your concern.
See, we're tagging along. It is now kind of some of my concern.
Your
Not-
concern is to get me to and from.
My concern is to not tarnish my good reputation by making some cheap cash. Now, I'll ask you one more time, confirm whether or not you intend to harm anybody, or you might have to look for another
I have
batch
no
of
intentions
mercenaries.
harming anyone.
There we go, closer. Are you breaking the law in any way in Emberdale on this mission?
No.
All right. To be honest, I don't care what you're doing, but I want my name attached to something that isn't strictly illegal.
I look at
Fair
Kazim with a knowing look.
All right. Well, I'm satisfied personally. I guess one more follow-up question would be, do you actually have 500 gold to give us?
Yes.
All right.
They clearly read Kazim's MO.
Well, any questions from the peanut gallery?
From the what now?
The peanut gallery? You two sitting there watching this?
Well,
Oh.
You know,
Gallery.
like when you go to a game and they're selling peanuts in peanut gallery.
What game?
No idea what that is.
Like a sports game or something, and they sell hot dogs and peanuts. The people up in the crowd are the peanut gallery.
That's a very American thing, Josh.
What?
Whatever. Any follow-up questions from the crowd then?
I've gotten.
I
all the
actually do have a
answers.
question. And it's not to Antioch. No, don't mind me. We all know the situation, right? With I mean, we just came back from Peaksboro. We delivered the blood and all that, but we do know that this is not the end, right? We are aware of that.
That's why I'm gonna continue to fight.
And right now we have 6 months to get ready for that fight.
6 months. That's how much we got.
According to Specialty.
As you guys are talking, you're just gonna hear like this heavy thud in the center of the circle that we've formed. It's just a bag of 250 gold sitting in the middle of the group.
Half now, half later, huh?
Quite.
Good idea.
What's that behind you?
Oh my god.
Antioch just stares at you.
I'll just reach down slowly, pick up the gold.
What's that?
This wouldn't have worked.
Love it.
It will work. One of these days, it will work.
You think I'm kidding? It will work one day.
Oh yes, no.
I'm just waiting for. I'm waiting for the right time for it to work.
BBEG battle. Look out behind you!
That is some shit I'd pull.
Well, we have decided that we are going to Emberdale. Shouldn't we first clear out with Greymoor, actually, whether or not he has anything more important for us to do?
Well,
I feel like we have been slightly, well, not gonna say deprived of our daily lives, so to say, but this whole adventure we embarked upon has kind of set our paths on a certain road at this point, I feel.
I mean, I didn't think it would be a good idea to leave until the morning anyway. From what I understand, this is going to be a long journey. It's going to take some preparation.
We do have to secure transportation, which is something I can take care of.
What happened to
have-
our carriage?
We have a couple horses. The carriage was a rental?
Oh yeah, right, we did rent that. So that's never coming back.
Yeah.
Sorry,
You
Nico,
pull.
was it?
Hmm?
Nico, was it? Those
Yes.
targets over there. Would you mind if I?
Go ahead, buddy.
Thank you. Gonna scurry off.
As
That,
he scurries off, I'm gonna look Silus dead in the eye. I've seen Ferris done, I think. Actually. I've seen him. And I've seen huge army of doppelgangers, Silus. This is not a joke. What are you
no,
doing right now?
I've never treated it as such. If he exists, then he's real, and if he's real, then he can be beaten.
I sure hope you know what you're talking about.
I have absolutely no idea. But I know the world is doomed if we don't. And again, I'm still under the zone of truth. I have absolutely no idea what we're going up against. I have absolutely no idea if any of us are ever going to survive it. I have absolutely no idea if it's all in vain or not. But too many people have died for me to sit by and do nothing. Even if I end up just being a body on the battlefield, sometimes it just takes one soldier to change the tide of war.
We don't have a lot of time left. Not at all. And we can't just sit around, wait for things to come anymore.
We're not sitting around.
I know, I want us to do the right thing, and I don't know what the right thing is right now. I'm hoping that Greymoor is going to have some sort of a clue of what he wants, because as far as I am aware, there's just... I mean, there's a couple ideas where we could go just in general, but like, I don't know where this will take us at this point.
I put a hand on Nico's shoulder. 2 weeks ago we had days. Now we have months.
I just don't want to waste the time.
I give Nico the key.
The key? What key?
I put a key in your hand and I close your hand around it. Near Emberdale is a keep.
And?
A keep we
What?
can protect and fortify. When the time comes, your family will have somewhere safe to go. They will be far away from this war. Not today, not tomorrow, perhaps not even in 6 months. Perhaps we'll have solved the issue by then. Even if I don't believe we would have, there is still hope. But if it comes to it, they will have that keep. And that is where I will make my final stand, should the worst come to happen. I vow to you on all 6 gods, I will fight and die to protect your family.
When you say family, like, Nico just has this look of pain in his eyes, just like his shoulders drop and he just stares at you blankly. I appreciate it, Silus. I really do. We have a lot of work to do. A lot of it.
And that can start tomorrow. Kazim and I can handle Greymore. I'm sure Antioch is going to have fun with his new toys.
I
If
feel like
you-
I need to speak with Greymore.
If that is what you choose, then that is of your own accord. But right now, there is a little girl who needs you.
Yes. She does, doesn't she?
And she's going to hate the fact that you go on the road again. So make today count. If we need you, we will call for you. If something happens to us, I have no doubt that someone will find you. You're worried about tomorrow. Focus on today. And today is your day off. Be a lover, not a fighter.
Nico would just... He had tears well up in his eyes, and he would just take his hand and kind of wipe them off. Just, be back soon. I feel like we have as much time as we think we do.
I look over to Kazim. Any other tricks you'd like to pull?
I'm sure there are, but I just can't think of them right now.
And I believe Greymore is waiting for us, Commander.
If you call me Commander one more time, I will fuck with you for real.
He says
You're
that
welcome.
under the zone of truth.
Oh, absolutely. And you're welcome to do that, Commander. But I know that you've earned this. Me and Nico wouldn't be here if not for you.
I'm gonna get you for that. I'm gonna get you for that. You. All right. I just need to think about what would be funnier. Let's go talk to Greymore.
So, as you guys begin making your walk up, I will say, Kazim, with your passive perception, you do notice that Antioch is shooting at the targets. He's got no ammo, so that's just something you notice as he's just shooting something, but he's got no ammo on him. As you guys begin walking through the beautiful summer's day, heading up towards the flow to go talk to Greymore, I think that's a good place for us to take our halfway break. We're at 2 hours. I will leave you guys on so that they can hear you guys talk about what is going on, and I will be right back. All right.
It's all a matter of time.
So, you guys are making your way through the streets back up to the flow, and you guys are talking to Greymore, correct?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, as you guys are walking through the streets, it's still a beautiful day, and you begin walking up the steps into the flow itself, seeing Margaret kind of quickly working behind the counter. She always seems busy, and doesn't actually look like she ever actually achieved stuff, but, you know, she's trying, goddammit. What do you guys do? She's gonna walk up? What are you doing?
Margaret, finger guns again.
Oh, hi, Mr. Kazim, and hello, Silus, and don't know you, pointing to Antioch, and goes, Nico, right?
Yep, that's Nico. So we gotta talk to Greymore.
Oh, okay. I think I just saw him enter into the library. He said he was looking into something that you guys asked about or something like that.
Perfect. Yeah. And I'll walk into the library.
Okay, so you see, as you walk in, you see Greymore sitting there with a couple books next to him as he's just kind of slowly looking through them, flipping through stuff as he looks up and sees you guys walk in and goes, well, hello, Kazim, and Troop. Can I help you?
Yes, you can, actually, Mr. Greymore. Fucking Silus, why don't you tell him?
For fuck's sake. We wanted to inform you that Antioch here is a representative for the ambassador of the Isles of Descent.
Oh, are you the messenger that we sent for?
Yes, that's me.
Oh, welcome. I am Archmage Greymore. It's a pleasure.
A pleasure.
So you came looking to reply to the message. Did we find Mistress Ayami anywhere?
She has left town on other work. The nature I'm not sure, but having left so urgently and quickly, I can only assume its importance. We have passed her messages and wishes along to Antioch here.
Well, it seems that you must have a much easier job than you would have anticipated, it seems.
He has requested our assistance in escorting him to Emberdale on a private matter.
You see Greymore kind of cock his head and go, Emberdale? Sir Antioch, might I ask you, are you going to go search for... I hope you're not looking for somebody, as Emberdale has had a bit of a tragedy within the last...
I'm well aware of the volcano attack. Well, the eruption, whatever thing.
Excuse me?
I am aware. It's personal. I'm sure you understand.
Naturally. Well, there isn't much I can use you group for lately, anyway, with the research that we're doing and the protections that we're setting up around. I do believe Morgan, have you guys seen the little device he's made? He's kind of brilliant, honestly.
I wasn't aware that it was completed, but if it has been, then we will go and.
From what I understand, he says it's ready, but that's for that could probably wait for you guys to return. It's you guys seem fairly capable of dealing with these doppelgangers on your own. Are you sure that it's going to be safe enough for you guys? Can I supply you all with anything you might need?
Yeah, supplies would be fantastic.
We can offer some food. I believe you guys your cart is still in the stable with your all's horses. Antioch, I don't believe you came. You came by teleporter, correct?
That's correct, yes.
Well, we can set you up with a horse. We have some that might be more suited to your stature.
Give him a fucking Shetland pony.
You can sort of see Antioch's just tongue pressing against the side of his cheek like this mother.
I'm
The
sure.
thought is very appreciated.
You see him kind of quickly realize I meant no offense. I'm so sorry. We do tend to to be perfectly honest, we have a few gnome scribes, and they do tend to have a bit of trouble on the normal horses that we have. So we have a few of theirs hidden away. No disrespect intended, sir. I do apologize.
Quite all right. It happens.
Of course. Well, I will continue the research into this object that Imes brought me to speed with, and allow me to know if there's anything else that we could possibly help you all with. And he kind of snaps his fingers twice. These two other scribes kind of walk over and goes, if you wouldn't mind gathering some supplies for, how long do you all think you will be gone for? I believe it's about a week, if not a week and a half, to get all the way there.
We do have to go a little bit further after that, so
Okay.
perhaps 2 weeks worth of rations.
Okay, set them up for about 2 weeks worth of rations, and maybe a bit more bedding and stuff for them. Make sure it gets taken to their cart. And would you mind getting one of the gnomish horses for me, if you will? As he just kind of looks over at you, making sure that doesn't offend you. And you see the other two scribes just kind of go, okay, yeah, absolutely. And they start wandering off.
2 things, Archie. 1, can I grab some books for the adventure? I have some research I'd like to do on the road, if at all possible.
You see him go, we don't allow you guys to take the books, but we do have probably some copies of whatever it is you're looking for that you can take freely.
Wait, it's going to entirely be on remembrance.
Oh, we have a couple, but I have some recommendations that might be a bit interesting for you. Give me a moment. Let me find those really quickly. As he begins kind of gracefully walking over to the large wall of just drawers, as he just kind of opens one up and he just starts fingering through as he grabs like a bundle of paper. And
He's out of earshot, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to lean over to Silus while he's out of earshot. Should we tell him about the 6 months? He'll drop his guard. Do we want him to stay on guard?
I would. Perhaps we tell him that we're expecting a large assault in 6 months' time. However, we cannot account for any skirmishes that may occur between now and then. Allow them to know that they have a window to prepare, but know that there is
They're
still
not safe necessarily.
There is every opportunity that a threat may come sooner than anticipated. Nico seemed to give the idea that the assault may come sooner. So we tell them we have reason to believe there will be a large assault on the plane in 6 months. However, it could happen sooner. It is unlikely to happen later.
Cool.
As it begins coming back, and you do notice that Greymore has got like 3 or 4 kind of binds of these paper that seem to be held together with twine and some temporary pieces of metal in between. And he goes, these ones I think might be of interest to you. I've got one about the first king who kind of discovered remembrance a bit. It comes from the lineage. It kind of explains how it might work. I do have this one that it's kind of debated of whether or not it's relevant to it. It's more of a story, a fable, if you will, of an ancient kind of warrior to believe to have had that kind of magic. So I thought that might be of interesting to look into. And then I've got these two other smaller books that seem to be about almost research papers into what the best they could about remembrance by asking the royal family, of course, of what they might experience and things like that, and some ideas of what it could be. I thought those might be interesting to you.
Perfect. And then it feels almost uncouth to mention this last, but we are expecting a possible assault within the next 6 months.
Within 6 months, okay. Of the
rough.
Who?
Them. The.
Oh.
Yes.
6 months, you say?
You have about 6 months, give or take.
That gives
Most
us
likely
enough time
take.
to prepare some extra defenses, I think.
Stay on guard. We can't
Obviously.
guarantee anything.
Okay. Well, we have some of our researchers looking into maybe perhaps bolstering some defenses and maybe even possibly some offenses, and we'll have Morgan begins to start working on more of those items that could possibly help us as well. I do appreciate the heads up. We will begin working on some more things, and I know that the Light has sent us a bit more of their ideas recently of to what we could do, so that'd be excellent.
Out of personal curiosity, have you talking to the Sunbeam recently?
Not directly, no. I've just a few of his messengers have been sending us these etchings that we can put into certain things to protect us against, or to at least alleviate their strange ability to change and possibly disconnect their psychic link that they might have to some people.
Cool, super cool. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks so much, Grandma. Yeah.
There's nothing else. I'd very much like to begin my research into possible more defenses. Your horses should be ready within the hour with supplies if you'd like to leave. I could also... Are you leaving today or perhaps tomorrow? We might have...
Likely tomorrow morning.
Okay, that gives us more time to set up with some better resources as well for you. But yeah, if there's nothing else I can do for you, just let the stable master know whenever you're ready, and he will get everything set for you to leave.
One very small note. With her being gone, she has every intention, I believe, of having us communicate with her mother on her behalf on any matters that may require it.
Well, from what I understand, that I believe it was you, Silus, that went in with her to the Seacrest mirror.
Yes. Obviously, with me being out of town, not if it were to happen whilst I'm here, I'm happy to represent her. But with me gone, I would pass that responsibility to whoever you deem most appropriate.
I do have someone that is familiar with that kind of magic and has actually been a correspondence for us before, so I think we can find somebody for that. But you do know where the mirror is. I assume you saw the ritual and how to do it.
I think I would be able to replicate it, given some practice.
We do also have the sand required at the desk if you need some.
Thank you. I will keep that in mind on my return.
Of course.
But yes, from what our correspondence was able to tell us, the army is great. So the more allies we have, the stronger River's Run will be.
Of course. Well, I thank you all for your information. Antioch, it is a pleasure to meet you, sir. I hope you enjoy the stay in River's Run, and if you need anything, just let us know. As an ambassador, I will open up a room for you up on the floor. Kazim, if you wouldn't mind showing him, it's going to be the door next to yours.
Oh, perfect.
Well, gentlemen, I hope you have a fantastic day, and let me know if there's anything else. As he kind of turns around and he just kind of sits down, and you see him kind of get a scribe over, and he starts telling him things as the scribe starts going through the shelves looking for different books and stuff.
So I suppose we have a choice. We can go check in with Morgan and see what he's been able to construct, or we can go to the water wheel, introduce Antioch to Tasha, and I can give you your package, Kazim.
Let's start with Morgan, then head to the water wheel.
All right, lead the way.
And I lead the way.
Okay. Everyone's still together, right?
Other than Nico.
Okay, so Nico's back still at home.
We can swing by and pick him up. I feel like
Yeah,
that's...
that's road.
I'm just curious. So what have you been doing this whole time, Nico?
Well, as I have been tasked, I am having a day off with my family. And writing some letters in general that I am currently writing for you.
So, you guys are going to Morgan then?
I think so.
All right. So, from what you remember is he's the owner of the Tattered Cover, which is the bookstore in the River's Bed district. So you guys begin making your way down there. The cobblestone is actually seems to be getting improved. You do notice that it used to be a little bit more squalor down in the River's Bed district, but it seems like with enough time to be able to kind of relax and focus more on the infrastructure, you have noticed that some of the buildings have a lot of things are starting to get repaired and are in better shape than the last time you guys were here. As you take a turn down one of the streets next to the river, you see a couple more storefronts, and you do see the sign dangling in front of this smaller shop that does have two windows that are just filled with fucking books in front of it. That the sign does say the Tattered Cover. You guys just walk in?
I assume so.
Okay. I didn't know you guys wanted to check anything out on the way there, but that's fine. As you guys walk in, you do see that there's that large rotund man that you saw at the meeting with Nathan forever ago. Sitting behind there, as you see, he's got a couple of these these glasses on with a bunch of different kind of lenses on it, as he seems to be working on something as he holds up a magnifying glass as he's kind of looking through it with a couple extra little bits on it, and he looks over and goes, "Well, if it isn't our heroes, and hello, I'm not familiar with you. Welcome.
Good day to you, sir.
I'm Morgan. I run this shop here. Can I help you all with anything?"
We heard that you've got a new toy.
I do indeed. And you see him hold up this magnifying glass that's got like this kind of it's got a rose wood handle. It's got a golden like rivet at the end to hold it in place, and a rose gold frame around this piece of glass. It looks like a magnifying glass, almost like a hand mirror. It's got in front of it another little piece of glass that kind of tilts off to the side on like a hinge that goes in front of it. And he just says, I've done it. The blood I've asked you all to bring. I'm sorry, Antioch, you might not be familiar with what we're talking about here, but let me finish up with them. I was able to use it to infuse it with the glass so that when you appear through it, you will actually see their true form. It only seems to work on doppelgangers themselves as it is their blood, but from what I can tell, it could possibly work. I've got still a bit of that weird stuff from the one that was in our basement. I want to call him Bond, but I don't want to call him Bond. But I do have a piece here that I've been kind of testing on a little bit, and it seems to work. You see, and he pulls out this little box, and inside of it is just this mesh of goo, and on top of it is this what looks to be a pizza cloth, but it's also a part of the like flesh itself. And he just goes, "Take a look through this," as he hands it off to you, Silus. And as you hold it up and look through it, you notice that the piece of cloth changes from that same color as the Flow's garbs back into that weird grayish just skin, so where it looks like the illusion is just faded.
I'm gonna sort of make sure, because even Antioch can get a good sort of look at it as well.
Antioch, he hands it to you, and you kind of take a look through it, and it's interesting. Whatever this thing in front of you is changing color for some reason. You're not too sure how that's significant, but it's interesting nonetheless. You've never seen anything like that before, and you're also kind of admiring his craftsmanship on it as well. As soon as you see Morgan kind of looking at you and goes, "Now that is a peculiar contraption you've got on your hip there, sir."
Why, thank you. I invented it. I call it the Iron Root. Say, you don't have a target of some sort nearby that I might be able to test this out on?
Tinkerer yourself, I see.
Quite so.
Oh, always glad to see another man of the arts. I actually think I might have something here. As he kind of goes underneath and he pulls out this stack of just paper as he just kind of starts binding it together, and he puts it up on these, like, this prop of these books, and it's just kind of off and goes, "I'm sure whatever it is that you need it for could probably be stopped by that."
Antioch's gonna head. How big is the room that we're in, or space that we're in?
I'm gonna say it's only about 10 feet wide, but it's about 20 feet deep to the front.
20 feet deep.
Yeah.
So I will head as far deep in the opposite direction to where the stack is.
Okay.
I am gonna pull this out, and I am gonna take a shot at the stack of paper.
Okay. So you see Antioch just pull this thing out with the long kind of cylinder in front of it with these moving part in the middle, and you see him kind of pull it out and cock the hammer back, and you see him just kind of quickly look at both of you and just go, kind of tell him to get out of your way. You guys move?
Yeah. Whatever the fuck that is.
Roll for the attack there, Antioch.
Does a 21 hit?
It sure does. All of a sudden, you see him kind of aim for a little bit, and you see him pointing one eye, and it's a little shaky at first, but you just see that hammer come forward, and this loud crack just goes through this whole shop. You see the glass just kind of reverberate from it, and you see that Morgan is kind of covered his ears. It is so fucking loud. Like, Kazim, you've heard thunderclap before. It sounds like that, but inside. It is deafeningly loud, and you see that the stack of paper has just around. You do see that there's still a stack there, and what looks to be this kind of small blob in the middle of just this dark spot, and you see Morgan just kind of look up and go, "That is amazing! How do you achieve something like that? That's fantastic! What is this?" And he grabs it and he goes, ooh, and he puts it down and he goes, "So obviously you've made what I assume some kind of projectile." He lifts it up with these forceps and goes, This looks to be lead by chance?" "Black powder. Brilliant, sir. Now, how do you hold the black powder in place to set off a projectile like this?"
We use a brass casing.
"Oh, of course, because that would be able to contain the black powder. May I take a look?"
By all means.
You see,
and
he takes it from you and he
somewhat warily hand it to him, but
you hand it to him, and he's kind of looking at it and he pulls one latch forward, and the whole thing just kind of breaks forward a little bit. And you see that there's the cylinder in the front, and he pulls out the casing that was in there and goes, "That is absolutely remarkable. That is fantastic, sir. You have a mind of a generation. I feel like something like this would be remarkable. So, how long did it take something like this to come up with?"
I honestly, too long, almost.
I absolutely understand. Perhaps in another time, I would love to take a look at your notes at something like this. This is truly an act of genius as he's pulling it and he's looking in, and you see that he's being very careful not to try and take anything apart as he's kind of looking down, looking at your trigger mechanism, and he's looking back at the hammer and pulling it back and back, and he's like, "This is striking and fantastic." Do either of you say anything as this loud explosion has gone through and now he's searching over whatever the fuck is in front of him?
Silus is very much like covered his ear at this point and is like, "What?" A look of shock, a little bit of fear. What?
Kazim's got like a finger in his ear trying to get rid of the ringing.
As you see Morgan just kind of close it back up, and he hands it back to you, and he goes, "Okay, do you mind if I see around, please, one of your projectiles? I kind of want to see how it looks fully put together, if you could."
Oh, quite certainly. And I pull out one of the rounds for the gun.
You see him kind of looking it over and goes, "Now, I assume that you milled these lead projectiles on a miller at wherever it is. Wherever you must be very well equipped to get this kind of perfect fit for that. Very precise. I am astonished, to be perfectly honest. Have you thought of putting anything else in it, perhaps? Because it's just the black powder.
Well, I have some other ideas, but I'm not 100% sure on how to implement them just yet, but I'm tinkering. Suffice to say,
It's
I'm
always a work in
definitely
progress,
tinkering.
isn't it?
Absolutely.
Well, he hands you back the round and he goes, that I am very excited to see where that might lead. And at some point, if you wouldn't mind sending me some notes that I might be able to look over, perhaps I would love to see something like that. And if you wouldn't mind, where do you hail from? Perhaps I can send you some of my notes we can compare and bounce ideas off of each other.
Well, I'm a scientist in the capital at the moment.
Oh, fantastic. We have messengers that I can send. I see that you're wearing. I'm sorry, I'm unfamiliar with the emblem on you. I see that you're wearing some kind of library's garbs. Where might I send them to?
Well, it's the I'm wearing the garbs of the Library of Glimmister.
Oh, the Forge. I see. Fantastic. And you say you're staying in the capital. I assume I can send it to Brindle. I've heard his name, and I think that Nathan is quite familiar with him.
Yes, good old Bryn.
I'll have my notes sent to him, and if you wouldn't mind just kind of perusing and seeing what kind of gems you might be able to help me pick out of there, I would greatly appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Oh, and if you need any more black powder, I have quite the supply, as I've been trying to do some tinkering of my own.
I will definitely take you up on that, I think.
Very well. Well, Kazim, I'm sorry. I am so sorry. You never got to take a look. If you want to look through the magnifying glass, and he opens up that case again, you're seeing through here, this is actually a piece of that Bond doppelganger's flesh, and if you see how it looks the same color as the scribe's garb. And as soon as you look through the magnifying glass, you notice that it turns into the skin color of the doppelgangers, and go, I think it might be just what we need for this kind of fight.
Good job, yeah.
Now, unfortunately, this is a prototype. It's going to take me a minute to make another one, but because of the vial that I've already had, I've been able to kind of replicate the same properties, and I'm able to make quite a few with just this. But I still wouldn't mind if you come across some more, that would be incredibly helpful.
We might be on a bit of a shortage for the next few months.
Anytime. But I can make about I think like 7 more, which I think will be incredibly useful for the time being. You never know when they might pop up, but it's enough to us to have it at any of the gates.
Yeah, this will be this will be really helpful. Yeah.
Well, is there anything I can help you all with?
No, but Graymore just told us to check out the toy, and honestly, it's very impressive.
Well, if you guys are going to be around for any much longer, I could probably whip up another one in maybe a couple days if you want to take it with you. But I mean, if not, that's perfectly fine. You all seem to easily be able to handle them.
Do you know what range they work on?
From what I can tell, the effectiveness seems to wear off at about 20 feet.
Okay. That's not bad.
Yeah, I have noticed that I can look through it at any point in the shop, but as soon as I get through the front door there, it seems to dissipate for some reason. But, I mean, it's better than nothing.
That's true. It's going to be a great defensive tool for sure.
Absolutely.
All right. Yeah, let's go back to the water wheel, huh?
Sounds like a plan.
So as you guys are, again, making your way with the heartfelt goodbyes and the reassurances of projects to be worked on soon with you, Antioch, you guys make it back fairly closely. It's only like a block and a half away from the water wheel as you guys walk down that those familiar walkways. There's people just kind of going through work. Those bakery seems to be opening up. Those smells of the fresh bread and some spiced vegetables that seem to be going on some other part. It feels almost like the remembrance of that festival that happened, except that now this is feeling, Silus, like when you first showed up, this is starting to feel a lot more like that original Rivers run that you kind of fell in love with your months of trading with them.
Yeah, that kind of feeling of home almost.
Yeah. As you begin walking into the water wheel and you see Tasha, there's a lot less people in there. There's maybe like 2 or 3, you know, the kind of regulars, the day drinkers that are just kind of always there. Just kind of joking around, having fun. Tasha's kind of leaning back, reading what looks to be some kind of parchment or paper or like a small, tiny pamphlet book. Maybe the best you could get around this area. And you do see next to her that she's just kind of sipping on some kind of drink as she goes in and goes, well, I wasn't expecting to see you all so early. What can I help you? It's a little early for lunch, and Silus, I know you already ate. She kind of winks at you and goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Hello there. I'm Tasha. I run the water wheel here. Any of your food or drink needs, you just go ahead and let me know." As she kind of holds out her hand to shake your hand, Antioch.
Antioch, a pleasure to meet you.
And I shake her hand
Antioch,
very violently.
I must ask, I've never seen a gnome with your kind of skin tone. Do you mind I hope it's not too offensive, but do you mind if I ask, where are you from? That's incredibly intriguing.
It's quite all right. I hail from Glimmerstone.
Glimmerstone. I have a cousin that actually works in a Glimmerstone. Do you know he works for what is his name? He works for the Stormforge family. He's a connection for a couple other associates that I have up there.
Yes, the Stormforge family is quite a prestigious family.
Right, I believe that he's your guys' they're your I don't want to say Duke. I'm not sure what they're called up there because I understand your guys' government's a bit different.
Yes, well, they're basically the people that help keep everything together.
Well,
the Stormforge family is.
If you ever meet a man named Cameron that works in your library, I think he's a craftsman of some kind up there. We all kind of get a couple tips and tricks from him. If you meet Cameron up there, tell him his cousin Tasha says hello. He's a wonderful man.
I'll be sure to do that.
Absolutely. Well, can I get you guys anything? Did you need something?
Tasha, if you can make sure Kazim and Antioch here get everything they need. I need to head up to my room and fetch something quickly.
All right, fair enough. As she kind of watches you walk up the steps and goes, "What do you want, boys? What can I get you? Drinks are on me. Friends of Silus are friends of mine."
Whatever's on tap.
Right. Well, we've got this beautiful ale that we got in not that long ago. It's got some honey notes to it, but also some kind of apricot, I think it is. While that's happening, Silas, you just kind of go up and you grab everything that's there.
So I'm leaving Nico's package for now because I want to wait until later to deliver it to him. But I will grab the letter, my package, and Kazim's package.
Okay. So as you guys, as you make your way back down, you see Antioch. Do you drink anything? Are you a drinker?
Antioch's known to have a small drink, but too much it affects his work, and that's really not so good. So only a small thing of whiskey.
You see her kind of grab a little whiskey glass and pour you a small one over some ice. And you see her kind of grab an orange twist and I go, "I know it's not really conventional, but trust me, the citrus with these kinds of whiskeys are fantastic, especially for a sipping drink." As she kind of goes around the rim with it and puts the twist in there and just hands it off to you.
Thank you.
Of course. I'll be right with you. As she walks over and starts helping someone else. So you hear Silas's big heavy steps coming down with these 2 bags and what looks to be a letter in his hands. I assume he probably sits at a table and waves for you 2 to come over.
Yeah, probably the biggest available table. But I don't know how much stuff we got.
Okay. So are you guys just kind of walk over and sit with him?
Yeah.
All right. So as you guys sit down, you just kind of hand the stuff out. What do you do there, Silus?
So first things first, I don't know if we should open this letter without Nico. It seems to be addressed to all of us. But this came along with a sack for each of us, and I hand Kazim his own. I'm not sure whether you want to open it here, open it in private, but I can assure you I haven't tampered with any of them.
I'll peek inside the sack.
Do you want me to message you, or you just want me to tell you what's in it?
Message me.
Okay, let me.
I don't want the others to know. I'll jangle it, and I will throw it in my bag of holding.
Okay. Silas, do you look in yours?
Yeah, I look at mine, and you could just say it. I don't mind if people know.
Okay. Let's see. You have. There seems to be this small, kind of round. It's a piece of leather with an emblem in it. It looks to be some kind of conch shell on top of a shield. It looks very official. And on the back, it says Draxtifon, the last name of Aimi, on the back of it for some reason. On the note, there is a small note that says, for when you'd like to visit, passage shall be yours.
Okay. Silas is going to put that into his own pack. Is that all that's in there?
Yes.
All right, brilliant. Okay. So yeah, he's gonna take that. Okay. Sort of look at it for a little bit and consider what that means. Getting a vague idea, but obviously could be a little bit of anything. He's gonna put it in his own sack. I'm gonna keep that note with it,
Okay.
just in case that's important. And then yeah, I guess just discard the empty sack.
Okay. So and Nico's is up in the room, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure. Do you look at the note or the letter?
Kazim, do we want to look at this or wait for Nico?
I mean, I could always take a sneak peek.
Read the first line and ignore the rest.
That's where you can really get the tone of the letter, you know?
I mean, okay.
I'll.
It's gonna be one line. It's gonna be one line.
No, it's not.
I'm gonna.
That'd be funny as shit. I should have done that, but no, it's not.
Yeah. So long as I get this back before we leave this table, and I will.
I was gonna say, I can read it while we travel to Nico's. If you'd rather I'd read it now, then that's cool.
No, Silas is gonna wait. They're gonna read it together.
Okay.
I have Nico's bag upstairs. We can go deliver it to him whenever you are done with your drinks, or we can do it later. We can do it in the morning. It's really up to you. I think we just need to relax and enjoy what we have left of today. Antioch, if there's anything in town you'd want to see or explore, I'd be happy to walk you around. I know it relatively well.
I appreciate that, Silas. But I'm quite alright. I'm probably just going to think for a bit more and see what other horrible contraptions I can think up.
Yes, your contraptions do seem rather unique. Far more than anything I've seen in my travels. You have a talent for that sort of thing, for sure.
I appreciate that.
Well, in in any case, then I think I will probably just spend the rest of my day here, relax, maybe help Tasha in the kitchen, something along those lines. Not to insult her cooking at all, but
You, with your experience, you would know that she's more than happy to have you in the kitchen, as she just adores the way that you cook.
yeah. So I think that's what Silas is going to do for the rest of the day, is just cook
Okay.
and do what he bloody does best, apparently.
Kazim, what do you do with the rest of your day?
I think I'm just gonna relax for the rest of the day.
Nice, relax, okay. And Nico, I'm assuming that you're doing the same thing. You're probably helping Cresselia with some chores, maybe helping get Nicholas his lunch to remind him to come in.
Yeah. Yeah, he would do that.
If there's nothing...
I will say,
Yeah.
Antioch will be kind of glued to Kazim, mostly because Kazim knows where Antioch is spending the night.
Right, that's right. So we'll probably say that at some point Kazim has probably walked over there and shown you to your room.
Yeah, probably.
So I'm assuming, if that's the case, then I say that we're gonna fast forward the rest of this day. We're gonna Silas, you have a beautiful day with Tasha and her bar, the jokes that are thrown around, the merriment that is just kind of there. Even without Mistrix's lutes, or without her actually being there, you can almost hear the music that she would fill this place with, as everyone just has that sense of joy and comfort as more people are coming in from working in the fields. Kazim, you're just kind of chilling there too. As you come back from showing Antioch from his room, just kind of enjoying this homely tavern feel that feels a little bit better than always constantly on guard. That moment that you feel like you're able to kind of let your guard down for once, feeling comfortable in your own skin. It's revolutionary. You haven't been able to feel that in quite some time. So you just just enjoy it. Antioch, you enjoy a little bit of time at the water wheel, just kind of observing everything that's kind of going on. As you don't spend much time in a bar, but you can kind of see the appeal of it. But you also, after a while, go back to your room, which is a beautiful large room with a lush blue bedding on it, and a table that you just immediately fill with more tinkering as you're just kind of researching into what more you can do to this. Always working on this project of yours. And you also pull out this kind of wooden stock that you've been getting kind of tinkering with a little bit. You were trying to get the trigger mechanism to work on this one, but something seems to be stuck a little bit. If you want to go ahead and roll a wisdom throw for me.
Wisdom or a wisdom save?
Just a wisdom throw.
That is a natural 20.
Natural 20, okay. You managed to actually get the hammer to actually fit on this one. That seems a little bit better, and you finally got that slide that you've been working on to eject the shell to finally work on this new project of yours. You're still kind of working on like the barrel and perhaps how to best work. Maybe a cylinder is not the best thing for this one, but you're working a little bit. You've gotten quite a bit done, more than you thought you would have. Nico, I will say that you're at home, right? And you're spending all this time. You're putting out the laundry, and you're just kind of peeking over and enjoying watching Cresselia play with Freya out in the fields, and you see the helping her with her bath, and just reminiscing about when you first got here and how it still feels that comfortable, that homely feeling. The dog is constantly around you, and it's in love with you, and you don't know if you're going to be able to part with it. You have your dinner with them, and it's very it's comfortable, especially after the events that have happened to you. It's the first time you've actually felt like you've been able to smile in quite some time, and that in itself makes you say that kind of silent thank you you say every night, or at least you have been for quite a little bit. Being able to enjoy what you have been enjoying as you all drift off into sleep. And I will say, as we're going into bed, let me change the music. My apologies here. There it is. That's what I'm looking for. I'm going to say Silus. As you begin...
good.
As you begin drifting off into sleep, you're sat there in the darkness. Normally you'd see the chairs of the 6 in front of you, but you only see one. You see this feminine orc that you don't see very often, but you're actually incredibly thankful to see. She's a female orc. She seems to have more relaxed clothing on, as you remember her as to be the den mother, essentially. The mother of all orcs, the nurturer, as you've also known her as she just kind of kneels before you and goes, "Hello, my child."
How go things, Cave Mother?
They are adjusting nicely. Letting them go and having that last moment with her, I feel the peace within you. And I've come to offer my blessing.
I am forever grateful.
She places her hand on your chest, exactly where your wife has placed her hand before, and this time you can feel this kind of heat coming from the leather as you look down, and you see that handprint that is much smaller than the den mother's. As she continues, "The everlasting handprint from the one you love most. I pray that this blessing helps you to, on your quest of diplomacy. I hope that you do shepherd in a new era for the orcs, young one, showing the more brutish of our kind that there is a kinder way. I am very proud of you, young Silus, and I know that Groomish would approve."
I will do my best to serve the 6 and the family I have made. Though there is one thing that still troubles me about the developments of past. I still sense in every orc the rage of Ilnaval.
Young child, in every orc, that rage persists. It always will. It is your job as the champion of the 6, in a new sense, to usher in calmness in the warpath. But you must also be prepared, young child, for those who might see you as weak or as a traitor, as they will become.
I know what I will be seen as and I accept it. But I know what I am. I am an orc. Son of Groomish. Son of Lothic. I will guide the way in your light.
The 6 watch over you, child. Continue on this path. It will serve you well.
I look forward to when I can rest with you at last.
As she just kind of opens her arms, and that blinding white light fades into darkness as you continue to sleep. Kazim! As you get back to your beautiful, lush room, as you lay down in your, I don't want to say feathered dawn bed, because that would be pretty fucked up.
No, it's probably down, honestly.
It probably is, and you know what? You crave that ironic comfort in the corpses of other avians. As you begin to rest once more, and you feel this pressure at the edge of your bed, as you see the Mist Queen appear in front of you once more. "Well, hello, child."
Hey. How you doing, Lyra?
I'm fantastic. How about yourself? What an interesting character you've run into today.
Yeah, I don't know. It's getting weirder and weirder around here.
It only seems that it's going to get much weirder when you get to Emberdale. I'm so excited to see this.
No sneak peeks?
Spoilers.
Mm-hmm.
Just know, there may be more opportunity to share my light with others. Now,
Okay.
I feel like as my... how to put this? There's no better way to put it, my champion. There hasn't been much help in the way of that I've been offering, and I've come to rectify that may be more interesting later on. Care to see?
Yeah, I'd love.
You see her out of darkness, and this mist in her hand is just this box. And she goes, take a look. And as you open it up, you notice that in this beautiful, like, purple velvet pillow is this just blank silver mask. It looks exactly like the one that she wears every time. She goes, this is the mask of my followers, and I think no better person to pass it along to. I hope it helps you spread my light to others. Oh, and by the way, love what you're doing with the soup kitchen. It looks fantastic down there. If I might suggest maybe an altar or something to, my likeness, maybe in the basement, I might be, and she flicks her hair and goes, a little flattered,
That's currently the plan, but
Wow.
first you got to make sure the construction's all finished.
Of course. I think I saw another one of my, how do I put this, newer followers, making sure that it's done in just the right way for you, because they appear to be taking a liking to you. They find you, as they say, incredibly funny, which I find interesting, I find you interesting, but, they think you're funny.
Well, if I'm to be the champion, I suppose I better, I don't know,
Of
be
course.
liked by the people.
The best way, obviously, and I like you, so why wouldn't they like you? Really, honestly.
Yeah. Okay, quick. This mask doesn't explode, does it?
That does sound like something I would do, but not this one's particularly. I might give you some more later. I think that might be fun to kind of pass around, but this one, no. This one, so what this one does is, are you familiar with the spell Disguise Self?
Incredibly so.
This kind of does the same thing, except it's more close to the kind of, I don't want to say doppelganger, because that just has such negative connotations lately, but it's more of a can trick true sight kind of deal, closer to polymorph, if that makes sense. You more physically become it. You know how, like, in Disguise Self, someone could touch you and can tell that it's fake? Not this. This is a little bit better, and I think it might be real fun.
So this actually alters my form?
At least in the physical sense, for them to feel it. It'll be completely painless for you, I promise, but you have a little bit more a little bit more free will, a little wiggle room to do what you like with it.
Do you think it works in the city?
Oh, absolutely it works in the city. I think it'd be really fun, because it's not technically an illusion. Technically.
I can't think of any better form of illusion than technically not an illusion. That's perfect.
It's my favorite kind of deception. Well, I must be off. There are so many plans that I have, and I have a party that I'm going to be planning here soon. I'll be with you with more details in a little bit, but I hope you have so much fun with this thing. Always, as always, Kazim, you're ever more entertaining to see. Also, I have to ask, why didn't you barter more with that little deep gnome person? 500 gold? You do know he had way more than that, correct?
It didn't occur to me at the time. I was expecting like 100, honestly.
Well, 500 gold, that's pretty good. So, it's better than nothing, so enjoy it.
Split 4 ways, that's nothing to sneeze at.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I just felt like maybe next time ask a little bit more. You might get a little bit more. I think you had more fun that way. But, who am I to judge? I'm just, the god of all deception and all.
Touche. It's been a pleasure, Lyra.
As always, Kazim. Sleep well. I'll see you soon. All right. As we've enjoyed our long rest, you all do accomplish a long rest, obviously, as we begin waking up. And I would say, Nico, you probably didn't sleep as well. You got a full rest, obviously, but being worried that you're leaving already, you probably didn't sleep very well.
Yeah.
So we're going to start with you. What do you do in the morning? It's probably just after dawn. You pretty much woke up to the sound of Nicholas getting up and out and about, getting ready. He just woke up, so it's early as shit for you.
Yeah, for the first time Nico being up as early as this, it is like once in a lifetime occurrence at this point. I feel like he would pack his clothes, get some spare change of clothing as well, put up his bed neatly, and he would go down, greet Nicholas, and yeah, oh boy, he hates goodbyes.
You see Nicholas over at his at the stove as he's trying to heat up like a glass pot of water. As you see that weird coffee maker that he's kind of contraption that they have, as he's pouring it over, and he looks over and he just kind of says,
Right.
"Well, good morning, Nico. We have to be a little bit quiet. Freya's still asleep. You're up fairly
Good
early.
morning, Nicholas.
Are you doing anything?" As he's waiting for the coffee to brew, as he just kind of sits back and he offers you a piece of toast that he made for himself as well.
I seem to actually be heading somewhere soon. I'll wait for the other two to get up, but I will be leaving again.
I suppose that's the life of the adventurer, right?
Oh, believe me, I want nothing to do more than just stay with my family.
You see him take a bite
Right
out of
on.
his toast as he's drinking his cup, and he goes, "You know, adventuring, from what I can tell, is a non-stop job. No matter how much you wish you didn't have to leave, there's always that itch in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
Gotta go scratch the itch, Nico. Never feel bad about it." As he's sipping his coffee, he slides you over a small cup of coffee as well.
Nico will take it. It's not as much as an itch as it is, well, I just worry, and there's things that I know that if we don't stop, no one else will at this point.
I can't think of anyone I would trust more to get some things done, Nico. You've always been a bit of a go-getter.
Yeah, totally me. Woo.
I know that
No,
your other friend has helped you quite a bit along the way, but, you know, I do think there is a bit of that spirit within you. It sounds corny. What am I talking about?
Sure hope so.
I think he's there. I can see it. Nico, I don't think
I
you hear
hope
this
so.
enough. I'm very proud of you.
Goddamn, now I'm crying. Yeah, no, Nico will cry too. Why not?
He gives
He's a
you,
man. He can show emotions.
he just gives you a hug and he goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to strike it. Well, unfortunately, I have to get to work, Nico. The other two will probably be up in a little bit. They'll hear me when the door closes. I know that Freya stayed up pretty late last night, but, you know, if you need me, I'm out in the field, and between you and me, be safe, you know? Just come back. I'm not explaining to Freya what the fuck happened to you. And if you could please take the fucking dog. I'm tired of picking up its shit."
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Thank you.
I'll take the dog.
I'll say that he had to go on an adventure with you. Thank you.
Yeah. Have a good one, Nicholas.
He gives you a kiss on the forehead and a big hug as he kind of grabs another piece of toast and starts walking out the door. And as you kind of sit there looking at your coffee, sipping on it slowly, waiting for the other two to wake up, we're going to go to Silus. You probably also woke up fairly early, not crazy early, but you're hearing earlier than you were the day before. As you're hearing the people downstairs, there's maybe 3 or 4 voices that you're hearing. The sun has been up for a little bit, but not for a whole lot. So you know that it's probably the early farmers coming in.
Yep, the first breakfast rush, as it were. If the farmers are up, Nicholas is up. And Nicholas is up, then I can find him. If I can find Nicholas, I can find Nico. Therefore, get up, get changed. I'm gonna pocket the letter for now, but I will grab Nico's sack. And I'm going to, with all of my belongings and valuables on hand, I'm gonna go downstairs, telling Tasha that I just need to run a quick errand before breakfast and go to If he's not in the tavern, go and find Nicholas in his field.
You see Tasha quickly go, oh, all right, well, we'll see you in a little bit as you begin walking down the streets. And it's pretty empty in the city right now. But as you continue walking down towards Nicholas's house, you actually do see the tall man walking to his field as he looks over at you. And you see him sipping on his coffee. And he kind of holds it up to like a good morning cheers. And he kind of points his fingers back to the door to kind of signal to you like he's awake. He's back there.
I'll sort of give him the 2-finger salute and make my way over to the door and gently knock on it, especially for an orc, gently.
I'll say from where, Nico, you're sitting, you could probably see Silus walking down the dirt path towards the front door, so you probably easily are able to... Are you going to go grab it, or are you going to make him knock?
No, I feel like he would... I mean, he saw him. Actually, no, he'll be deep in his thoughts. He'll be deep in his
That's
thoughts.
True. So you kind of get ripped out of your thoughts as you hear the front door knock, and you hear Cresselia start kind of getting dressed and she goes, 1 minute, I'm coming.
I got this one.
Oh, thank you. And you just hear this thud as she just falls back into her bed.
Yeah, I'll open the door. With like a very like careful peek, like kind of like at this point, like murderers have been around those parts for far too many times. At this point, he's gonna be careful.
Don't worry, I'm not a doppelganger. I killed them on the way here.
Don't even joke about that. I'm
more surprised the fact that you're up before the sun has fully reached the sky.
Couldn't sleep. But come on in.
I'll step inside, and do I see Henry?
You do. You see the dog just kind of laying by the fireplace. As he sees you walking. You just see him still laying down with his tail wagging a little bit. He hasn't gotten up or anything, but you see that he does notice you, and he's just chilling.
He seems to be coming with us on this adventure. Nicholas kind of gave me the assignment to keep him out of the house.
You're taking my dog? As you both turn around and very, like, startles the both of you. Freya is just there with a crossbow. She's going to try and scare both of you.
Don't scare me, please! Oh, no!
You are a lot sneaky than I thought you'd be this early in your training, Freya.
Nicholas is hard, like, he has to stop himself from eldritch blasting, like, on command. No, legit, please don't scare me. My heart can't take this.
She goes, quiet, Mom's still trying to sleep. And you hear Cresselia open the door and goes, too late! As she walks out, and she just starts walk over to the coffee thing, and she just starts pouring herself a cup and goes, Silus, Nico, good morning. Freya, you need to be more quiet in the morning. She just kind of looks at Silus and goes, coffee, Silus. She's drinking it, sort of.
I will graciously decline. I promised Tasha I'd spend breakfast with her this morning.
More for me. As she's pouring it, she just goes outside to sit out on the balcony. And she goes, don't mind me, I'm just waking up before I choke somebody. She sits down in her chair out front, sips on her coffee.
Oh, she is not joking.
She is such an orc.
You think so?
Wait, Nico, does that mean I'm half orc?
You know what? I think you could be an honorary orc.
Yes!
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you could.
You see her grab a couple pieces of like toast as she's trying to make fake tusks for herself.
I think I wouldn't be surprised if she finds a clan at some point, and I'll give Nico a little wink.
Oh no! She is too young for this. Please, Silence. I am not having that conversation.
I have already blooded people into the Zenok tribe. What is one more?
Whoa, what does blooded mean?
No, Freya, not right now. Silas, I swear to God, not today.
A lesson for later, little one.
Oh.
Don't worry. By the time I return, we will see if you're ready to find a clan.
Wait, you're leaving again?
I was about to tell you. I have to leave again.
You have to go save the world again.
I'll be saving something, that's for sure.
Why do you have to be a hero? It's okay.
I'll be back soon.
I
promise.
know. You always come back, so I know you'll come back. You promise?
I do seem to always come back, and I promise I will be back.
You too,
Freya.
Mr. Orcman?
I will make sure to return Nico to you before too long.
Okay, you have to come back too. You have to teach me how to finish shooting.
You should too. What are you talking about? I'm a great teacher.
I raise an eyebrow at Freya.
You roll for perception there, Nico. And you too, Silus.
A perception, huh? Well, I rolled a
20. That's a
I
nat
rolled
20.
a 9, and I rolled a 10.
Okay, so you hear Freya go, "You're a great teacher, Nico," and Silus, you're seeing her go.
Violence is not the answer anyway. Like, violence is really bad. Like,
Yes. Now you
it's
sound
not
like the old
good.
lady down the street.
You know, look, it was a bad. It was.
You see her, she just
Look.
kind of, you hear her giggle, and then she just kind of climbs up on your lap and just starts hugging you, and you do hear her just say, "Just be safe."
You can't blame her for wanting to be a hero like her big brother.
Nico would not say anything about that. He would just hug Freya tightly and place a kiss on her forehead and just hold on to her. A little bit of teary-eyed, I feel.
We're not leaving yet, Nico. You still have plenty of time, but my daughter left you a gift, and I will leave the sack.
I'll look curiously at Silus and grab it.
Do you look in the bag?
Yeah, he does.
Do you want me to text? Do you want me to message you or just tell you?
You can text me right now.
Okay.
Well, I will see you at the flow at some point. The plan is to meet up, the three of us and the ambassador at the flow, and from there we will collect our horses and our cart and begin traveling north.
Yeah. Nico is just going to openly start crying and just hug Freya tightly.
Freya's obviously gonna hug you back very tightly.
Yeah.
And she's gonna go, "I'm gonna go see if Mom's okay." As she
You
kind
go
of
do that, sweetheart.
climbs down and she goes outside, and you just hear her go, "Mom! Mom! Mom! Mom!" You just see Cresselia just... As this is happening, we're gonna go with Kazim. You wake up. What do you do this beautiful morning?
I look around for the box
Okay.
with the mask in it.
So as soon as you kind of wake up, you immediately start remembering that weird confusion. But as soon as you sit up, you just feel this flop in your lap, and you look down, and there is the silver mask that you were looking at before.
Okay. I'm gonna try this puppy on and fuck with it a bit.
Okay. Okay. So after you spend a little bit of time on there, what do you try and do with it? Because you were told it's like the sky's self, so perhaps you had to think about what you look at.
I want to change my feathers so that they're back to their original color.
Okay. So as you put on the mask and you're just kind of sitting there looking in the mirror that's in your room, thinking of the golden bright colors that you wore, it's the weirdest thing. The mask just kind of disappears and like melds into your feathers as you see them coming back forward. It looks like metal melting onto ice or something. It's the craziest thing ever. But it starts emanating out of it. That gold begins to fluff out of all of your feathers, and it just covers your whole body. And you were that beautiful, lustful gold that you used to be. And it looks exactly, you wouldn't be able to tell that it's any different.
All right. Now, if I stop focusing on it, do I turn back?
Nope.
My feathers back?
Nope. As soon as you did it, it just seems to stick there. You're not sure how long it's gonna last for, but it's there for a good minute, a good while.
Okay. Is this an item in D&D Beyond yet, or?
No, I'm gonna be making it later.
No worries.
I'm going to say that you've probably got a little bit more information about it. You know that it lasts for about an hour, and you know you can do that twice a day.
Cool.
Lasts for an hour. And it is, without, how do I put it? Even with True Sight, it is indistinguishable from real life.
Okay, cool. Epic.
Yeah. That's going to be
That's going to have a lot of fun implications. Do I have to attune to this, or is it...
This one you're going to have to attune to, yes.
Sick. I will unattune from my armband.
Okay, cool.
And I'll get in my... I won't put on my vestments. I'm just going to put on the armor.
Okay. So, while you're kind of putting on your armor and you're getting ready for your day, kind of a bit more energized by the new implications that she's bestowed upon you. You're very excited for what's happening right now. We're going to go over to Antioch. How do you wake up? What's a morning for Antioch look like?
Slow.
Okay.
Slow. Antioch would have been spending most of his night tinkering, just getting as much time in until he basically crashed. In the morning, first thing after getting up is sort of just looking around this room. Like, what am I looking at here? Like, what sort of a room am I in?
Okay, so you're you're in a decent sized room, maybe 25 by 25 feet. It's pretty big. You've got yourself a nice table with a couple chairs. You've got a beautiful wardrobe that you've put all your clothes into, stuff like that. You've also got a kind of closet. It looks to be just you slide a piece of wood over, and there seems to be just a storage room to maybe hide some stuff that you, like your bags and stuff like that, to kind of get them out of the way. There's a beautiful, large, comfortable bed with very plush, heavy comforter and a nice pillow. It's incredibly comfortable. There's also on the side there's this huge like door of windows that open up to this balcony that overlook most of River's Run. When you're out on the balcony and you look over to the right, you do see that there is another balcony that's there. But you can also see over the wall, and you can see the mountains that lead up to Peak Barrow. Within the room, there's also a rug, a beautiful blue rug with the symbol of the flow on it in front of it. Other than that, there's probably nothing of interest.
That's okay. So immediately understanding my own powers, the first important thing to do for the day is prepare for the trek that we've got.
Mm-hmm.
After my rest, I'm going to touch my own hand and infuse my own hand with a I believe it's called a spellwrought tattoo of the first level.
Okay.
That will be a cure wounds spell. I will then retouch my crossbow with the repeating shot.
Sure.
Actually, no. Hang on. Just... I just need to double check the ruling on this. Yes, yeah, with the repeating shot, and I will touch the iron root
Okay. With the same thing?
with the same thing.
Okay. That's cool.
That will destroy my boots of Elvenkind.
Okay. So, as you normally do, you kind of press your thumb against these things. There's this weird, like, energy is transferred to it, and as you lift up, you do see what looks to be the small brand almost. As you've come to call it your marker's mark, your maker's mark, essentially. As every time you've pressed onto it with your thumb, it leaves the same symbol over and over again. And from what you understand, that's where most of the magic comes from, anyway. But easily enough, you're able to do it to all of those things. I'm gonna say that are you leaving your room after this?
I will be, yes.
Okay, so I would say that you and Kazim probably meet out in the hallway around the same time. Kazim probably would have left a little bit sooner than you did. What?
Sorry,
No, you're good.
clarification, because I have got the ruling incorrect. So I will give the crossbow the enhanced weapon.
Enhanced weapon. Okay, cool.
Infusion.
Okay.
No, I'll give that to the hammer, actually.
The hammer?
Yep, the hammer.
Okay. Last choice?
Last choice.
All right.
Done. Sorry. Just a bit of pain.
That's all good. It's all good. I'm cool with it. So I'll say that you guys kind of meet up each other. You do see an Aarakocra, which much brighter golden feathers than before. He's about the same height as Kazim, and the face is kind of the same. But yesterday he was more of like a grayish, dark silver color, but now he's like gold. He's bright and beautiful.
Do I see him come out of his room, or is he already out?
He's already out,
By
kind
the
of
time-
walking down the hallway.
I'm probably gonna pay no mind to him then.
Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna assume that is not the same.
Okay. Kazim, you
Not
do
the
hear the
same
door
Aarakocra.
open behind you. Do you look at all to see who it is? Because if you're at the hallway and you're at the corner, about to turn the corner, when you hear the door behind you close.
I'll glance behind me.
Yeah,
Yeah, just see him.
Yeah, you just see him walking out of his room.
I'll just keep going down the stairs. I'm gonna assume he's following me. I'm not wearing the vestments he saw me in.
No,
I'm
you
not
are not.
wearing. I look like a completely different Aarakocra right now.
Yep. Okay, so
Probably when I get to the base of the stairs, I'll realize he wasn't following me.
yeah, you kind of sit at the base and look around. He's not there. You just see, what does Antioch do when he?
From his very limited knowledge of the space that he's in, he's probably still doing that whole like looking around like.
That's what I was thinking. Is like he's at
Okay,
like
I
the
go
top of the stairs, just
here.
kind of like.
It's like, yeah, what am I doing?
No. Seem like looking over the balcony.
It's like, wait, is there a way out down there? Gonna get out of here.
So yeah, because you totally see him just kind of very clearly, just like, what the fuck do I do? Who do I look for?
You come in short stack?
Oh. Sorry, I didn't recognize you. Yes,
Oh,
certainly.
yeah. The feather die. Yeah.
Okay. So, where did you guys all decide you were going to meet up?
I don't think we did.
All right.
We didn't.
So, Silus
each
and
other.
Nico, where the fuck are you guys? Are you guys just going to chill at the house for a while? What are you guys doing?
What? So, once Nico's been given his gift, I'm gonna grab breakfast at the Flow, and then because we were told, go to the stables and they will provide you with your horses. So I'm assuming Kazima's gone right. I'm assuming that it's been picked up. That right. That's where we got to go when we're ready. So right
We
now,
definitely went to the water wheel.
yeah.
That seems like a very Kazim move.
I'm just following Kazim.
Yeah, Kazim
I know
very much
nothing.
seems like, I don't
Um,
remember where I'm supposed to go. Fuck it, let's go see who's at the water wheel.
So I'm gonna bid Nico farewell, sort of say, I'm gonna go get breakfast. Everything will be provided at the stables, at the flow. I'll meet you there whenever you're ready. Obviously, we need to leave this morning, but don't rush yourself. Take your time.
Yeah.
Take it slow. Enjoy it. And I will see you later. Head out the door, give Freya a little salute, sort of bow my head to Cresselia, tell them to give my gratitude to Nicholas, and then head to the water wheel.
Okay. Nico, are you just gonna stay and hang out with them for a little bit?
I feel like he would definitely spend some more time with Freya. He'll bid farewell to Cresselia and Nicholas, and he'll take the dog, Henry, and he would wait for the guys at the stable.
Okay, so after
he's
spending,
a bit antsy to get going.
you'd spend a little bit more time there as you see Cresselia just kind of quickly throwing together some stuff into like a basket and stuff. She goes, you're not allowed to leave with that on an empty stomach, so we're gonna make sure that you guys are all fed. How many is it? What is it? 4 of you that are going? Yeah, I think it's 4.
Four of us. Yes.
Putting in like some canned peach or some jarred peaches that she made and stuff, and she's just like, you never know what you're gonna need, and you guys need to be full stomach. She hands you this overflowing heavy basket. She's like, you make sure you eat it all, or I'm gonna be very disappointed.
It's total. Yeah, we will. I promise. I hope you don't mind. We're taking Henry with us this time. He
Dude, I can't. Nicholas won't stop arguing. Won't stop complaining about picking up the dog poop.
I
take
heard about that. Yes.
For the love of God,
I
take
will.
him. Freya will be okay without him. It's
we'll
fine.
take care of him. Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be fine.
By the way, that reminds me. I didn't want to say anything while Freya's around, because you see Freya's around the corner just kind of playing in the flowers and goes, there's something super weird about this dog.
You tell me.
He can hear you literally anywhere.
What?
I don't understand it, but we noticed this when we were out in the woods. Nicholas took him on a walk. He had to have been like 500 feet away. And I was whistling for Freya to come back. He just comes around the corner. Nicholas says he just disappeared. It's the weirdest thing ever. And ever since then, we've been testing it. Whistle literally anywhere and he will just show up. It's the weirdest thing ever.
Oh my god, it's a fucking black dog. Oh my god.
It's so...
Doctor Magic Item.
It's so strange. I don't know what to do with it.
I will keep an eye on him. Henry, let's go. We have an adventure to catch.
You just see him so happy to go with you as he's wagging his tail. And you see him like kind of walk over to Freya and he kind of nuzzles into her a little bit for a couple pets and then starts walking. Freya latches on for her last hug to you and she's just kind of holding on for a little bit and you see that she's hesitant to let go. But then she does let go with some convincing from Cresselia, who also gives you a hug and a kiss on the cheek. Nicholas did come home to say bye for a little bit during lunch, as he's giving you a nice, strong hug and just tells you, come back safe, please.
I will try my very best.
All right. The door will be open and ready for whenever you get back. Now, I love you, Nico,
Yes.
but I've got work to do.
Have a great one.
You too.
Yeah, Nico will be waiting at the stables.
Okay, so while Silus is at the water wheel and he's having himself his hearty orcish breakfast as he normally does and just kind of sitting there enjoying, you're drinking your water as you normally do. Cresselia is just kind of cleaning up a little bit. You also see that she's pulled out another book that she's also kind of reading while she's cleaning at the same time as the door opens and there is Kazim with Antioch right behind him.
Oh, good morning, Kazim. Good morning, Antioch.
Oh, well, good morning, boys. Can I get you guys something?
Probably too early for ale.
It is never too early for ale. Don't you forget it, Kazim.
Ale and eggs.
Ale and eggs, you got it. How about you, Mr. Antioch?
Just some bacon and eggs for me.
Bacon and eggs, you got it. She kind of turns around and starts working on her food and getting the drinks.
I gave Nico his gift. I've still got the letter with us. I figured when we all convene at the stables later, then we can read it then.
Yeah, cool. That works. That works for me.
I just want to say, at hearing the name Nico, Aniok's gonna be in the back, and he's just gonna sort of whisper to himself, "Nico, damn."
Son
Oh
of a
no,
bitch.
we have two people that can't remember names. This is gonna go great.
Wait, who's the other one?
Kazim.
Me.
Oh god.
He called Greymore Archie for fucking 13 episodes.
Yeah.
I thought his name was Archibald. I completely forgot.
I thought it was Archmage that you called him
Wow.
Archie.
And Kazim, your feathers. Are you no longer unwell?
Unwell. I think I told you it was hair dye.
I remember you talking about some kind of sickness the first time we spoke about it. If you're telling me that it's a different story, then
Right about now is when the feathers change back.
Yeah, all of a sudden you just see that it starts turning gray from the tips of his fingers all the way back up to his head all of a sudden. And he's back to that kind of pale, sickly gray color.
With the mask, or is the mask invisible?
The mask is still there, and it just kind of shows up as it all just kind of starts forming on his face, and then just drops into his lap.
well, that explains one thing and provides two more questions. Primarily, was that an illusion? Because I know my fair amount of disguising magic with my previous gifts, and I thought they didn't work in the city. How have you managed that?
It is distinctly not an illusion. Legally distinct.
Legal.
Very well, then. Second question, is that what Iami left to you?
No, not at all. No, she just left me a bag of undisclosed items. Several of them. But that's not the point. I got this from being the champion of my goddess.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, great. Silus is gonna. How does Silus react to this? Most intriguing. Just
And-
be careful, Kazim. Don't let the power go to your head. You saw what happened to the sunbeam.
Screw the sunbeam. He said I'd never account to anything. Look at me now, Zwindal, champion of a goddess.
Okay,
And-
so a whole great.
It's gonna do wonders for my ego.
Because that
Oh
wasn't
my
big enough.
God, I just got done with the gods, and you threw me back in there, didn't you?
hmm
You fuck.
Well, to be clear, I've been with my goddess for a while now.
Yeah, but if you become another Zwindal, then I have to fucking stop you. And I really don't want to do that.
Also, I don't know how important this is. It's probably not important at all, but there are a lot of similar followers in town. Like a lot, apparently. So if we ever need like a secret service to take care of something, I think we have a group of gentlemen willing to do so.
And they're loyal to your goddess, therefore they're loyal to you?
Correct. In fact, She said they think I'm funny.
Um, among other things, I'm sure.
Among other things, probably. The point is, we've got access to more resources now.
Excellent. If only we weren't leaving town today.
Well, when we get back, they'll probably need more time to assemble themselves into something of a more formidable force than a bunch of ne'er-do-wells.
And let us hope that the 2 weeks we spend out on the road is enough.
Oh shit, that's a good point. I should leave a note. I'll meet you guys by the stables.
That was the plan.
Dick. I'm gonna get out of Dodge and fly over to the warehouse.
Okay. What do you do? Do you want to message me what you're doing at the warehouse? You want to keep that a secret, or? Okay. So while you,
I'll message you. Yep.
yeah, while Antioch and Silus begin making their way back to the stables, going through the bank district, you do see off in the distance, you see you got a carriage. Silus, a carriage that's familiar to you with the 2 horses in front of it. And you just see Nico sitting at the back of it with a nice little basket of food, just kind of kicking his feet, waiting very patiently for you guys. Also next to the carriage, you see a what looks to be a smaller horse than normal. Seems to be tied to the side of it.
Antioch, should you wish to travel by means other than what they have provided, just let me know. I
want to see Silus on this horse.
that's animal cruelty right there.
It's just
That's
a
all that
7-foot dude on this
Yep.
3-foot horse.
Yep. I know he meant well, but I also know how it can feel when certain aspects of yourself are pointed out.
You can sort of see that, like, Antioch's just sort of deep in contemplation. Like, there's a part of him that doesn't want to be rude and doesn't want to be too much of a burden to these new people. But there's also part of him that wants to say, man, fuck that horse out of here. Just get it away from me. He's visibly conflicted.
If I may offer a piece of advice when traveling with us, speaking your mind will bring much quicker and easier solutions. If you don't want the horse, I will have it sent away and you can travel regularly on one of our horses with us, or you can ride in the carriage, however you deem fit.
I think that would be preferable, quite frankly. Plus, I mean, if I'm sitting in the carriage, it does give me time to tinker.
Well, there you go. We get the best of both worlds. And I'll sort of try and flag down, just describing the ambassador's horse will not be necessary. We're going to make the cart his. I'm going to kind of look over at you, Antioch, and go, workshop?
Workstation, yes.
Workstation.
You see the stable hand scribe kind of walk over, wiping his hands. He goes, "Oh, very well then," and he starts pulling it back into the stables. You do also see him kind of come by with what looks to be like a small toolbox that he just kind of puts in the back and goes, "You never know. There might be some interesting things in case if you're a tinkerer, you might want these to repair the wheels and stuff in case stuff happens. So just in case, here you go." He puts that on top of up there.
Smart choice.
I would say at this time, Kazim probably shows up, landing next to him as you see Kazim, you see the small horse going back into the stable.
Yeah, I'll join up with these guys and get ready to go.
Okay.
On the road again.
So, we are finally setting off on our adventure, off to a land that not very many of us are familiar with, to an interesting mystery that none of us are sure what's going to happen. It's going to take quite some time to get there, and it's going to be an interesting road ahead with our dear friend Antioch. I do believe that this is probably a good point for us to stop this week. This is going to be an interesting one. I'm excited to see how this goes. Malachi will be with us, not next week because we don't do next week, but the week after that, Malachi will be joining us again. And then after that episode, we will be taking our extended break for the summer. I do plan on doing like another tavern talk, as well as some kind of recap on YouTube, just to... I've been asked that multiple times, so if any of you guys want to help me with that, that'd be fantastic as well. Yeah.
Love to, baby.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you guys for playing with us. Malachi, thank you for joining us, and we're gonna have...
Thanks for having me.
We're gonna have
I fucking love Antioch. I love him.
Antioch is an interesting character. I like him a lot. I'm curious to see where he goes.
I said when I made him, people are either going to absolutely love him or absolutely hate him.
Nico, fuck.
Just damn it. Yeah, no ability to remember names whatsoever. I think that the funnest part about this for me is like, I've watched episode 1 twice.
Mm-hmm.
I've watched episode 2 once. That is as much information as I have about Tales of Ethyl. I know nothing, which is actually very on brand for the character, who is very disconnected to everything. He doesn't know anything about what's been going on. He has very much been wrapped up in his work for ages. I think it's going to be really interesting.
I think it's going to be fun.
It's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying this character already.
Okay. Well, I hope you guys have a fantastic night. Thank you for playing with us so much. And I hope we see you guys again next time. And don't forget to follow the YouTubes, the TikToks, the Twitches, the Twitters, not the Twitters, the fucking, what's it called? Spotify's and the Kicks and whatever the fuck I have this shit on, because I've been putting it fucking everywhere. For this,
also MySpace.
I wouldn't be shocked if I did make a MySpace and forgot about it. All right, MySpace was the shit. MySpace was the shit. If that's even still a thing. But for this week, Malachi, do you want to say that? Do you want to do the fabled bye?
Can I leave that till the next one when I'm sort of more aware
more in
of
the
it?
loop? Okay. Well, then who wants to do it this week?
I haven't done it for a while.
All right.
Oh no, Josh, you got first.
Bye.
What is a ray of light without the shadow it creates? What is the darkness without desire for flame? What is a warrior without a worthy foe? What would you like to do? It's time to roll. When the lines between good and evil are blurred, no one knows if there is Dune or Paler came first. An ancient struggle throughout all time to push against the other keeps both upright. Is the coming chaos worth the peace? Is it all just a puzzle to complete? A one-sided coin can't exist, isn't real, and thus goes the tales of Ethyl. Thus goes the tales of Ethyl.